Okay, what would you like to say, B-Cup?
I don't know. I think BetBoom's draft looks really good. It checks a lot of boxes. They've got sustain. They've got lockdown. They've got themselves some push.
Perfect.
Got all the boxes checked.
I'll let you cast the game then, gentlemen. Take it away.
You know, I get
They got you dirty. You had everything prepared this time.
The first couple of days, they're like, oh, give us the analysis on the draft. And then they hit you with a curveball, and they're like, what's the name of the innate? It's like, I spend the entire game looking at the screen, and my obs also points it out for me. I remember most names, but, you know, I can give a little bit of a cheat. I can look. I can... You know, now it's Eldritch something.
You just need a PC,
obviously.
basically.
Yeah.
You need to sit down, but looking at both of these drafts, this is the combo that they did run before. They also did run offlane Undying, which did look good. Navi yesterday, I'm not going to say unfortunate. They had that game in the bag, but Collapse also did some insane things. This is also a team that is still currently 2-1. Both of these teams are, considering how Swiss does work. So none of them are going to get eliminated yet. So we're going to be seeing them at least one more time. And these two teams, they feel really strong. Especially in Navi, I've been pleasantly surprised how well they've been playing. The drafts, they look pretty damn good every single time. I don't think Navi has been out-drafted yet in any of the games. Every single time it does look solid. And we can check some of the hero stats for Ogre. Ogre has not been defeated yet.
Yeah, it is 100% overall wins, one on Radiant, one on Dire. I mean, the stats don't lie. This is a really good hero. And in this lineup, offers a lot. You know, they'll be able to go after the Tombstone. They'll have Bloodlust ready. They can make sure that they're not dealing too horribly with that, but they've also given lockdown, damage over time. I like Ogre.
There's a lot of attack speed against Tombstone, definitely. You have Lina, you do have Ogre with the Bloodlust later on. And something also to point out, this lineup is very easy to play from side of BetBoom. Every single hero, they do have a stun, they do have ways of starting a fight, and also a good amount of team fight, plus on top of that, they do have damage reduction. You have Rum, you have both buff as well from the Kunkka, plus as well, you do have Gravity Well, which is a good amount of damage reduction coming out from Enigma. It starts with 9%. If you're in 500 AoE from Enigma, it's still like, it's really starting to add up. So if he also builds into something like a Crimson Guard on Enigma, it could be a lot of damage reduction, and Pure is in trouble. He plants the branch, but Boom and Ari are going to chase him down.
Yeah, getting this kill on the Lina, this is definitely a duo that can surprisingly get kills. You start with a Tombstone, you've got a couple of decays, Bramble Maze, Shadow Realm Strike does hurt early on. And Miero also struggling, and Navi continuing to show their lane prowess, which they've done really well throughout the event so far. I know they lost yesterday, and it ended up being a late game kind of comeback for Spirit, but their lanes have looked good. They have had advantages in every game.
They definitely did. And this First Blood, it is the power of Ogre level 1, which does absolutely nothing. Tries to soak up some of the damage, doesn't have a spell with Learning Curve. But once he hits that level 2, now you have 2 points in Ignite, 1 point in Fire Blast. Oh, Ari's in trouble. He's very dead here.
Yeah, Pure's going to be able to help out Kethomi, and Pure's the one who gets credit for it. But you've got the Ogre, who does have that Learning Curve, and when you hit that level 2 and have 2 in the Ignite, you cannot be that far forward like that. This will help out Pure. I mean, we have seen so many dominant performances from this guy. One of the best carries. I mean, this is going to be a fun game with him on the Lina. But the counterpart of the Ursa, how do you feel about just specifically Lina to Ursa in a carry-to-carry?
Lina doesn't like to play into this matchup. Anything that can get on top of her, but they don't have that many heroes. You have Pangolier, Lina also builds into Hurricane Pike, so this time around Ursa, I don't think he can allow himself to get something like a Nullifier. It's gonna need to be a Basher after he gets, you know, his standard items. Boom is in trouble.
Yeah, they're trying to also get...
That's another Decay.
Lotus, and they get Kethomi, and they also go into the Shadow Realm. They'll throw a strike over onto Pure, but they can't be too far forward. Pure does hit pretty hard. Lotus is on Ari, at least for the moment. Pass that over to Boom, make sure his lane's a little bit better. Fitabon's onto these Eidolons, as well as onto the Ringmaster. We're not seeing a lot of Ringmaster.
No, the hero did get nerfed. It was pretty much the most contested hero in the last couple of months for a good reason. And also not the standard pairing when you're playing the Enigma with. You do have stun, you do have slow. It's a lot of damage. This is something that Ursa doesn't like to play into. Enigma plus pretty much whatever, but Ursa needs some kind of a help. And with Warlock in the lane, this is going to be his way of stabilizing the lane, providing him with extra HP, and also allows him to stick onto the target. Once you get the boots, we also didn't talk too much about the mid matchup. This is a very good matchup for Kunkka, as we're seeing already. Kaori is going to die in the bottom lane.
Yeah, Eidolons are what get the finishing blow, and now Yuragi actually taking a lot of damage here from Save, who is just in on this. He's got himself an Impalement Arts in 4 seconds. Yuragi's got to be a little bit careful about where he positions, because that
Save is chasing. He has enough mana for both spells, actually, if he pops the stick.
Yuragi gets over to the trees, comes back over towards the lane, and now with that Shadow Word, things will end up being a little bit different. They did drop the Tombstone over in the top lane. They're still looking for the Tame the Beast. That lands with the Eidolons doing damage, but it's just not enough with the Shadow Word that finally wears out.
Kaori did bring Ursa's boots, so that also did save him, plus the healing cell. It's going to go back to full HP. Doesn't have much mana to work with. Got Naomi. Gets a very good Ignite on both of the heroes. That's a level 2 Ignite.
Now he's also got a level in that Bloodlust too, who'll be throwing that on a Pure if they want to go for a couple of these kills. They know Tombstone's on cooldown. It was dropped a second ago. I believe Pure might have actually even killed it. He's got a good chunk of gold. Another Ignite on Ari, but it's not landing on a Boom, who he's got himself those Infuse Raindrops. He should feel relatively safe. Especially constantly landing these decays. He's stolen himself 12 strength at the moment. He's working with 1100 health. And the Torrent, Tame the Beast. Oh, the damage on a copy. Save. Rips the shell off
very
that
well done. And he might stick around, actually. He might stick around,
Ari's
but
in
looking at
trouble,
the
but
top
so is
lane.
Pure.
Boom. Getting another one. Involved in all 3 kills. Level 5 Undying. That's going to have Ceaseless Surge off cooldown in 30 seconds.
Could definitely look to play more aggressive when you've got Ceaseless Surge available, but Kathomi, he's Vado bonded up, and the upheaval slowing him down. Boom should be able to run this up and has the decay. Kaori ends up getting the kill, but Boom helping out with another one, still involved in every kill for the side of Navi.
Kaori also came. He wants a charge on his Black Grimoire. Leaving Ursa alone in the bottom, which is not ideal. You're playing with the Catapult Wave and 6 Eidolons in the bottom. So this is going to be pretty much a tower if they decide to commit in the bottom lane. Ursa might need to come and get some help. But now we're seeing Save. He TP'd into the Bramble Maze and another Tombstone killed.
Yeah, 350 gold there for Pure. Ari sticks within the trees and throws down that op, so knew exactly where Save was going to kind of avoid the vision.
I'm not sure if this is the trade that they wanted outside of Navi, losing this bottom tower, playing with the Catapult again. And this is going to be a good timing on Helm of the Dominator. Your Ursa is going to be having his lane pushed in, so he's not going to feel threatened coming through these twin gate rotations, maybe TPing to tier 1 tower.
Tame the Beast
This is
again.
a kill. Big kill of
LSA,
Day.
and
He's going to respawn immediately.
yeah, he'll be back into the fight. He can TP over top, but look at the damage immediately onto Pure. Copy makes the rotation, and they're able to get another kill onto the Lina. They might even get another one here onto the Ogre. There's not really much of a spot for him to go. He actually went near the wall of the Roche Pit, hoping that Rolling Thunder might pop him over and he could survive. But unfortunately it ends, and Copy just kills him anyway.
Still yet to see GPK involved. Kunkka as a like mid carry, this hero farms extremely fast. Once you get to level 7, 4 points in Tidebringer, you kind of don't want to be joining too many fights because you can farm 2 camps pretty much at the same time. With your cleave, the AoE is big enough. Oh, he's in trouble again.
Pure once more. Tombstone Chaotic Offering, where do you even go if you're Pure? The answer is into another respawn timer, and Pure has died 4 times in 8 minutes.
Still third on CS chart, but at the bottom of net worth at the moment. Will need to recover in the jungle. Lina definitely can do it. This is the hero that farms pretty quickly. But they're also putting a lot of pressure onto this mid tower. Miero is coming with the dominated creep and Eidolon's Black Hole available.
Definitely a little surprising. Lina's still ahead of the Ursa, despite the fact that Lina's died 4 times and Ursa is 0-0-0. just ahead for the moment. I mean, Ursa is catching up. But Ursa not getting much out of the lane, especially with that tower gun. Fast Helmet Dom for the Enigma. But where can they go to help out this Ursa, who is just going to take the lane solo without the tower? I mean, the Enigma's left, and this has allowed Ursa to at least sustain some farm while he's gone.
Everybody right now from Navi playing the bottom part of the map, which does allow BetBoom to get some extra farm. Boom is in the top lane, but everybody else in the bottom doesn't have Ceaseless Dirge available. I want to see which type of a build he's going to go for this time. We saw Blade Mail on Undying, plus Pipe try to tank up a little bit more last time when he played it. It's still a good Pipe game. You're playing against quite a lot of magic damage if he wants to go for the same item build.
Haven't really talked too much about GPK at the moment. He's going into the Blade Mail. He's level 8 compared to Copy, who's also level 8. Copy going to Fusel Blade. And the chase is on to try and get GPK with the Rolling Thunder. He's up by the trees. He will try to survive here, but does he have enough help? GPK throws out that Ghost Ship and gets the kill after he dies, but it's just not enough to survive. There's no level in Escape Act for safe. Just 3-0-2 at the moment.
Supports on BetBoom are still level 5. They would definitely love to be level 6 for that multicast, and most importantly have Wheel of Wonder available. On the Clown, there's a lot of pressure. Miero, as soon as he sees people showing in the mid lane, he immediately starts to put slightly more pressure in the bottom lane, try to push Ursa out of the lane so that he needs to jungle.
They're still grouped up here for Navi, though. They could try and get this kill. They have smoked up. They don't have Rolling Thunder for 40 seconds if they try to go for this, but they should have the damage with everybody showing up in the Chaotic offering there. So whether or not Miero sticks in the area, he's going for these Ancients, and he's trying to pick himself up a pretty quick Helm of the Overlord. They will find him. They've got the Fatal Bonds. They go to the Black Hole. It does land under the...
Ooh.
Lasgs. That he's dead. I mean,
he is definitely
dead.
The question is, can he maybe get a kill? The answer is probably not, because he got a Shadow Realm and it's gonna expire. Black Hole still up and running for another good 2 seconds, I would say, but yeah, I don't think he's gonna be getting the kill. They also have Golem available if necessary. Probably they don't have to use it anyway. There's a lot of damage shared between the neutral creeps from Fatal Bonds, and also Ursa's coming. A little bit surprised that he decided to go for this play. Maybe thinking that he can surprise him, kill him with the Eidolons. It was a good Black Hole on the two of them, catching Warlock, but still not good enough. That's going to delay his Helm timing. I gotta say, I haven't really been impressed by some of these Helm of the Overlords on Enigma.
right.
I think they also have damage to kill it this time. Especially with Ursa. This is the hero that can actually kill it. Then +1 actually gets him in the end.
Not able to cut through those Eidolons in time, ends up at least trading. Kind of getting that gold back. That was worth 315 gold. And another pause now, this time from Boom, getting 20% packet loss. Wonder where the packets go. But we'll find them. Hopefully on the reconnect. This seems to happen, right? Sometimes when somebody disconnects, reconnects, everybody else gets a little bit of packet loss. They come back. Fixes
And it works. Yep. Some of the heroes were also causing the problems, like Monkey King. We still need to reconnect
the
with Monkey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking at the win probability from
Favorite
Dota
Navi.
Plus. Almost 60%. Which is pretty high, considering everything. Like, this lineup from BetBoom is very, very good at team fighting. We talked about the damage reduction, talked about the attack speed, the damage they can put out. The problem is they got shut down slightly in the laning stage, especially this Lina, who does have 4 deaths, as we said. But eventually, I would say in the next 3 minutes, if he doesn't die, he's on top of the net worth.
Sounds very plausible. GPK, how far away is he from this Blade Mail? He's got 7 gold to go, and then he'll have it. We'll grab that Blade Mail. Maybe I don't know if they'll smoke anymore with Black Hole on cooldown for 2 minutes, but they do have good pick-off potential. Laguna Blade is certainly good enough to get that, especially with the lockdown that they have, and X into a turret with a ghost ship. You can pretty much kill anybody if you start off with a stun. BetBoom's draft should be pretty easy to execute, but it's all about how NAVI try to respond. And right now, they've responded really well up to this point. Save off to the side here with Kathomi. But still no skirmish. Nigma back alive and definitely wanting to focus on that Helm of the Overlord.
This is going to be the big timing. Like, you have good, I would say, 5 minutes where this creep can't really be killed that easily. There is some damage, damage over time. If you connect him with the Fatal Bonds, Rolling Thunder does hit, Tombstone as well. So maybe they can bring it down, but also it depends whether Ursa wants to join. He's also not going to be focusing the creep unless the creep gets isolated.
They will go for this Undying, and there's the Laguna Blade. Boom will eventually die. Pure gets the kill and is going to pick up a Tombstone. An extra 200 gold there, but staying for the Tombstone makes him vulnerable to the extra follow-up that was there with the Chaotic Offering and the Rolling Thunder. They'll still go even deeper for Save, who will throw out that Wheel of Wonder. GPK is here with a torrent that lands out of the Warlock, and Save surviving, getting chased by this Golem. Swashbuckle off the mark, so they killed Kaori, and now they're going to look over for Copy. And they've got some help still from the Tame the Beast to fear him up.
No Swashbuckle for a second.
With the stun, Swashbuckle hits on the arrow. Kaori gets the kill with the Golem, but the Torrent connects and Copy is dead. Somehow Save surviving, and 100 gold extra for GPK by killing the Golem.
They're getting some of these extra units killed as well. They do kill Tombstone, they do kill Golem. Eidolons are also not dying. GPK showing up to a fight as well, dealing a good amount of damage. Almost 3,000 damage actually coming out from GPK. Does have Blade Mail available. And I also want to see scaling from GPK. I want to see him go for Radiance, go for BKB, and then most likely pick up something like AC, because you're playing against Pango, you're playing against Ursa. All of that is going to be physical damage. Instead of going for the straight BKB or anything, I want to see scaling. Because Lina, if she gets focused, I also don't like Lina to be the only damage dealer in the team. Seen way too many games in the previous couple of tournaments where she falls off quickly. If you rely so much, she's playing against these Tinies, these Magnuses, Ursas that get on top of her, repositioning tools where she dies, and then the rest of the team is kind of like, well, we can't take the fight because we don't have enough damage.
And we've already seen that 5 times. Lina continues to get jumped on, and it was that extra little bit of, hey, I'm going to go get this Tombstone for the extra gold that gave them just a split second longer to go for Lina.
Copy's doing a very good job with Rolling Thunder, connecting onto multiple targets and not being greedy, not staying to get the kill on Lina. Instead, he gets a connection onto Ringmaster, he gets a connection onto Ogre in the backlines as well, so they do get multiple kills, but overall, BetBoom getting victorious out of that previous fight.
Question becomes, when does Ursa get involved? We've talked about this before on some Ursas wanting to get involved after they pick up that Blink Dagger. I'll hold that thought. Paleman Arts lands. They've got themselves the Tame the Beasts into the Wheel of Wonder. They end up trading Save for Boom, which is something that they'll take, but Kathomi is the extra price. As Copy again with a good Rolling Thunder to help get a couple of kills out of this engagement.
Every single time in a right place. Oh, Kaori, he stayed for a way too long, and
yes,
now you see
did.
this BBD, big Black Dragon. Let me see how many times they killed Tombstone, because I do feel like they killed it 6, maybe even 7 times so far.
I don't think they got that one, though. I think it just timed out.
Timed out? Okay.
I didn't see the plus 200 there. Blink Dagger now picked up for Copy, so he's going to have an even easier time kind of jumping these backlines the way he has with the Rolling Thunder. Having that with the Diffusal ready to go, Copy, he may not be top of the net worth, but he doesn't need to be. He's very effective with what he's got right now.
Yeah, and while all this was happening, apparently Lina died. Pure. Might be slightly tilted considering how his game is going. Tries to go for the solo kill on Ursa. Even if he lands a stun, he was alone there, he can't get the kill. If he has Enrage, he can phase boots, he has Windlace. Urcha can definitely just run away with the Enrage. On a bit of a... I don't remember last time Pure had such a rough start to the game.
He's been happy with how he's played previously, but this game has definitely been quite tough. Tame the Beast. Not only does it just fear you up, but the damage that Tame the Beast does is pretty brutal.
Yeah, once it's maxed out, it's almost 500 damage.
That's so crazy. With a 1.2 second max fear on that.
You need to get pretty close to use that ability, though.
Ringmaster also has the Sister Shroud with the extra 110 health from being brawny. And of course in the Carney Classics, that's the normal facet we've seen for Ringmaster so many times. Gonna try and just chunk down.
Now it's the time of the game where Ursa will definitely kill that creep. Good amount of gold as well, coming from a lot of summons. Pure, this time, pairing up with Kateomi, thinking that maybe they could get a kill, but again, they're focusing him down.
Spot. You need to help him out, but Pure gonna try and survive. The Rolling Thunder persists, and Pure's dead again. Looking for the Terrorize, and that lands. However, Ari is still gonna die with the Wheel of Wonder and the Ignite. But Pure dead for the 7th time.
I mean, at one point, we gotta say this is feeding, right? It's it's not an easy game for him. Not a good start, but also needs to play slightly more careful. Once they initiate, it's Copy also that had his number throughout the whole game, managing to get multiple Rolling Thunders on top of him. Now with the Blink Dagger, it's gonna be much easier for him to get the connection.
The positioning from Pure just feels like almost
one extra wave. It definitely feels that he is going for that extra wave, thinking that he has protection from Ogre, who doesn't have anything. Like, I would be fine if this is some Pavis or Glimmer Cape that is available on Ogre to go for this type of a play. But Ogre, he did go for Mega Greedy. He did go Dormant Curio as his neutral item first. Now he has Greedy, and he has that Unleashed with Searing Signet. It is a lot of damage, plus he's also going for Hand of Midas.
Looking towards the late game.
Yes.
Because Ogre, with a couple of good items, can be very useful in these 40-minute, 45-minute games. But this is something that I like from these Ursa lineups. They go right in a Roche. It's a 19-minute Roche, and the timing really works out, right? You go for Roche, you pick up this Aegis, it's going to be 20 minutes, you go for the Tormentor, you get another objective, and then maybe off that, you fight. You'll have to wait a little bit, because usually when the Ursa goes for it alone, they'll enrage. You'll have to wait for that to come off cooldown. But right now, Navi is kind of checking the objective boxes.
Yeah, not allowing BetBoom to take that fight. I would love if this Ogre did go for Pavis, just like one small item, and then you can go back for Hand of Midas. But I do feel like they need something extra. You're playing against Ursa, which is pretty much all physical damage. You're playing against Pango, which is all physical damage. So having some kind of a damage reduction would definitely work fine. Maybe they think, okay, we have enough coming out from Kunkka, coming out from Enigma, but not sure if that's enough. You also might want to have something, a bit of an extra in this one. Considering how many times they focus Pure, you want to have something to save him.
We're not there with the Ringmaster to use that Escape Act on Pure.
No.
And he really picked that up pretty late. The Escape Act as well. We'll have
with
to see if they
amplified
can get
damage,
the saves.
they are ready to go. This time, Miero is going to be in trouble. Yuragi, let's see how many hits it takes.
Right on him. Black Hole committed to this. This is a very questionable Black Hole, knowing you're kind of just dead.
Considering that there is nobody relatively close to him, there was Kunkka, but also he doesn't have a Blink Dagger to blink out maybe after the Black Hole. Maybe he thought he was alone. But yeah, BetBoom losing all of these objectives. Navi taking Roshan, taking Tormentor. Kaori got it.
Taking this Tormentor while Enrage is on cooldown, because he had his allies with him, which means, yeah, you take the Tormentor, and sometimes you're kind of expecting the Enrage to give you like a minute, but it's going to be a short timer where they'll have that back up, they'll still have this Aegis, and they can fight on the side of Navi.
Yep. There's going to be a really strong timing from Navi in the next minute or so. Once Copy finishes off his Aghanim Scepter, Ursa, he does have Aegis, so he's going to be ready to fight. But the big one is also to point out, Kaori, he did max out Fatal Bonds. He did go for Upheaval, so there's going to be a lot of Imp spawn because he just got a Shard, plus the Tombstone as well. There's going to be a lot of random damage on the ground.
GPK on the run. Tries to get towards the point where he can get bounced up onto the high ground, but now pops that Blade Mail, has the escape back from save. Chaotic Offering comes in, lands on a save as well as GPK. They throw down the Bramble Maze, which locks up Pure. He's going to be Bloodlusted. Do they still want to fight this without the Chaotic Offering? They've got good damage coming out from Pure. They're going to jump in here onto Yuragi, but where's the rest of the team? The damage coming through. They've got the Tombstone down to the ground. Boom. Flash Golem, BKB walking forward, trying to go after these heroes. As Copy blinks forward, they'll use the Tame the Beast. They've got the Wheel of Wonder. They get the kill to Kaori. They look over at Copy's going to swashbuckle, but he's still dead. 2 heroes got on the side of Navi. Another Bramble Maze lands on a Pure. Boom. Right into the faces of this BetBoom lineup, but he just does not have the help. They lost the Aegis and the Ursa, not feeling confident enough to go in continually, and is caught again. X through and the kill by GPK. The focus now on the Boom. Thinking about the Terrorize, but it's not going to matter. Boom's dead anyway, and this all falls apart for Navi.
I thought Navi's gonna bail after trying to use multiple things, using Rock, using Rolling Thunder, and not getting a kill on GPK, and then still proceeding to take the fight. Ursa blinks in, he's in no man's land, doesn't have Enrage because he already used that, and then he dies once, he's gonna die the second time. Very nice play from BetBoom, playing with a pretty good deficit, playing into the Aegis. Rolling Thunder did connect real nicely. I really like how Copy's playing this Pangolier, connecting with the multiple stuns, getting the shield crash, getting everything, but this escape act did buy a little bit more time. Not sure why Yuragi there also used Enrage, because nobody was focusing him, nothing was going on. Maybe he was thinking that if he gets stunned by Lina immediately, he might get blown up, but then he blinks in with no Enrage, and you can see him getting stunned, and immediately he's just dead, and then Boom commits with no one really behind him. Copy's in, but he's gonna get Wheel of Wonder and just gonna die from that.
Kind of expecting help on all, like they
were all focusing different targets.
Yeah, it was not a synchronized fight. It was 5 different fights happening for Navi. And now that Save's got this escape act, you've got a little bit more tankiness. You've also got the Bloodlust for the Ogre at level 4. Like, you're just outputting so much damage, and we talked about it earlier. They've got Save, they've got Sustain, they have the answers, they just need to unlock them and have them available. And now you've got GPK at level 18, level 3 here on the Ghost Ship. He's got that Radiance complete with the BKB. This feels like BetBoom's game to lose now.
A lot of big items on their side. BKB finished on Pure. Enigma is going for a BKB, picked up a Blink Dagger, and now they got another pickoff here. Kunkka, he wants more tankiness. I can't really blame him. I think he's survivable enough, especially now with the Escaped Act. There's also going to be full Solar Crest on Ogre relatively soon. Big item, as we already discussed, that there's a lot of physical damage on their side, and I want to see AC. I want to see maybe AC on Kunkka before that SNY. We'll see if he does commit, but once they get to those items, damage output from Navi is going to be very, very limited. Add the damage reduction from both, from Enigma, 500 AoE if you're fighting around Enigma, could be pretty massive. And finally, Pure gets a little bit of time where he doesn't die. He didn't die in good, I would say, 5-6 minutes.
Even with 7 deaths, he's towards the top of the net worth. Blink Dagger for Boom. They'll find Pure.
He has BKB.
And the Rolling Thunder goes into the back lines, but
down the river.
You really don't have much. They'll find the Rod of Atos. That comes through to Copy. He's able to swashbuckle away.
Illusion Rune dispelling a Rod of Atos. Not too much commitment, but they did already kill Tier 2 tower in the bottom. So they might migrate towards the mid lane and try to get a kill there.
Quickly back to the fountain and X back to the team. Ogre really opens up this Enigma to go Blink Dagger BKB as well. Because Ogre with the Midas can go to more defensive items, something that maybe you want for the offlaner. Where Enigma can focus getting those jump-in items and trying to secure a good Blink Black Hole if he wants.
Yeah, they definitely do have tankiness in the front line with Ogre, with Kunkka to try to set things up for a big Black Hole. Now with the Blink Dagger, Kaori will need to be slightly more patient with his Golem. He might need to wait for Enigma to use the Black Hole, because that's the only thing that can cancel it.
Pure and the rest of the team set up. They've got this big dragon ready to go. And Pure from a distance just going to hit away. They'll try to Bramble Maze. Maybe they look for a jump in. The Impalement Arts don't land.
Ursa doesn't have a BKB. Yuragi opted to go for Dasher before the BKB. So now when he jumps in, he's still very far away from that BKB. Needs to farm for another good minute and a half, 2 minutes, depending how much pressure BetBoom's going to put on them.
They don't have to force the pressure. Roche is kind of soonish, potentially. 36 seconds plus whatever the extended timer is, and Brigand's Blade Unleashed is a really good item for Pure to have.
It's a lot of attack speed.
Blink for the Willow. Solar Crest for
Another
both
second
Ogre
Solar Crest. Really
and
loving it.
Ringmaster.
Not opting to go for Ghost Scepters just to play for themselves. Instead, getting that Solar Crest. You use it when Pango uses Rolling Thunder on you. You're going to get a lot of damage mitigation. I don't think he's going to be dealing much. GPK is about to finish off his SNY, so that's going to be some extra status resistance on him.
That fight that Navi lost just really...
Yeah, it just turned the game around completely. Yuragi needs another creep wave for BKB. This might be the item that's going to change things a little bit, but if they are going to be playing the longer fight when Ursa uses a BKB, if he's unable to burst a hero, no Enrage, no BKB, he just can't come back into the fight considering how many stuns they have. Every single hero does have some kind of a stun on BetBoom Team.
Not to be pessimistic, but I feel like that for Navi, if you don't win a fight with the BKB Enrage now, BetBoom's just going to be too far ahead. And in a spot of critical mass, where Navi won't exactly have many answers, if any, after that point.
Roshan is about to respawn in 20 seconds, and Miro has his BKB delivered on the courier.
They'll smoke. They want to fight. They know that Roche is going to be up soon. Can they make the jump? Ooh, Torrent. Doesn't land, but there's the Enrage early. Now do they want to go the blink forward from Boom? They go to the Rolling Thunder. They'll find themselves the Ringmaster. If they can get the kill here onto Ringmaster to start.
Oh, he dropped the rock immediately on Nigma.
But he gets the escape back, the jump, the decay, the kill, save is gone. No buyback. BetBoom need to start to retreat. They don't have their supports to save them anymore. But saying that, GPK is pretty far forward. They go and land the LSA. They'll find themselves copy, but Boom's going to be on the back line.
Miero, he's ready. He's looking for the opening.
Here, Miero looking for the black hole. Oh,
it's nothing.
Miero,
Nada.
no!
Pulls off the Nightfall.
Oh,
he's going to TP out.
Dear, oh dear. Pure still alive for now, but the Blood Grenade, the Shadow Realm Strike, and now the Bedlam with the Fatal Bonds. Eventually, Pure will die, but Boom is the only one to drop for the side of Navi as
he's alive again.
Trying to salvage. They do have that Undying again, but this is the fight that had to go right for Navi to have a shot, and it went perfectly for them.
Kiyoru is like, screw it, man. I'm not waiting for anything. I'll just drop that rock on top of Enigma, following with the Golem, so that he can black hole, and it really showed in that fight. They had vision this whole time. This observer board scouting things out in front of Roshan, and now Roshan does belong to Navi.
Puts them right back into the game. This was what felt like a must-win fight.
Yeah, they have also very strong front line on Navi, where they go in with this Rolling Thunder, which wasn't perfect this time around, but still did a good job splitting the fight, allowing them to kill these two supports immediately who don't have buyback at the time. Like, they still had tier 1 tower available. Maybe with the buybacks available, they would be able to come back into the fight, and then Enigma comes in, and it is shorter than you think. It looks like a two-man black hole. In the end, it hits nothing.
Oh, it hurts. It hurts to see. But if you're a Navi fan, it's great to see. All outside the event horizon, and a very eventful fight for Navi in this situation. Yuragi killing both Pure and GPK. A lot of gold going his way, pushing him top of the net worth. A fight that they needed, that they had to have. And it works out.
And now you have Basher on Pango also coming. Aghanim Scepter plus Basher. This black hole is gonna get cancelled by something. Aghanim Scepter on Warlock. I see that Kaori wants to scale. I see Refreshers, so playing a bit of a longer game. And this time, Boom going for a bit of a different items than what he did in the previous game. Not opting to go for anything too crazy. Instead, he's like, they have so many stuns. I need to be able to jump the back line, be very annoying with the BKB, with the Blade Mail, and also wants to lower the cooldown on Ceaseless Surge and all of his abilities. BKB as well, Blink, Blade Mail. A lot of items that are clickable.
Taking that bottom tier 1 tower, starting to push these objectives, something that Navi was doing really well for the first 20 minutes of the game. They kind of hit a lull spot, and then now they've found themselves in the driver's seat again at 30 minutes. Boom, right on top of Pure. Pops the Laguna Blade, but the Blade Mail was there. Pure still on the run. Boom, we'll have a Blink Dagger in 6 seconds. But the search is on, and the TP is there for Pure, so he's just able to TP back towards bottom. BKB gets used, and that's going to be his 8-second BKB, now down to 7. And Pure is really high net worth despite the deaths. The KDA doesn't exactly look pretty, but he is kind of getting it done. The problem now is just Navi's overwhelming him, and we talked about how when an Ursa gets right in front of you on this Lina, you're in a lot of trouble, and these Blink Daggers
there
and
are way too many controls at the moment. Now you have Pango with the Basher, Blink Dagger, Rolling Thunder, Ursa with the Basher, BKB. You do have Hurricane Pike, but you would definitely at this point of the game love to have one extra item, either that being Satanic or that being Shadow Blade.
Rolling Thunder. Miero. He is spotted and caught again. Gotta move that courier. It's holding onto that point booster. He'll move it out of the way.
Miero still doing good damage. Unhealable damage.
Croaker
gets the stun and almost kills the range barrack. Not the most important barrack in the game, but overall doing something. Miero with some of these black holes did manage to get a return kill. That black hole in the top didn't give him much, especially that two-man black hole that he was going for and didn't hit anything. Might need to have a little bit more time, or they might need to try to jump this Warlock +1 and get the black hole on top of them. Octarine finished on Undying, lowering the cooldown on Ceaseless Dirge. That's the big one.
Undying going Abyssal next.
They want to have every single way. They know that the only way, pretty much, that BetBoom wins this fight if Enigma lands a really big black hole.
The opportunities have been there, but now it may not present itself for Miero to have a shot at a game-changing black hole anymore. Unless it's some crucial 3, 4, 5 hero black hole, there's going to be somebody ready to stop it. Even with the BKB. He's been using this Helm of the Overlord. He's been trying to push out these creep waves with the ancient creeps that he's holding on to. But he's certainly given away a lot of gold on creeps that have been killed, especially to Yuragi. We've seen him clean up a couple of these, and he's gotten at least 1,500 gold out of it. Satanic, like you said, now finished for Pure. He sits at level 22. Compare that to the Ursa, only level 21, but has the Abyssal, and will start to close in on a Nullifier.
Can't disassemble his Radiance, get the Nullifier, but seems like he's valuing this Radiance, the mischance against Ursa, and also fighting for these longer fights with the damage reduction that they do have. But I would still love to see AC. I think AC is such a crucial item considering what they're playing against. Give you even extra attack speed onto your Lina. I wouldn't also mind seeing maybe a Vlad's on one of the heroes, one of the supports, just to make sure that you're going to be able to dish out that extra bit of a damage, extra armor. Seems like there's a lot that they do need. The game is pretty even in terms of net worth, but Navi, they're going to smoke up and look for an opportunity, look for some kind of an opening with all these bashers that they have.
Full team of Spirit Breakers with all the bash they got going on over there. We'll see if they can use it to their advantage. Are you a little bit surprised at the build that the Enigma went for? Blink BKB instead of maybe the Aura build? Because it ended up that Ogre went Solar Crest Yules.
I mean, Ogre did go greedy. He already said that he did pick up Greedy Enchantment, which is fine. On level 2, did go for Hand of Midas. He is definitely up there. Like both of the support, well, actually all 4 supports are relatively close to each other. But Yule Scepter, it seems like there's a lot of items in this game that you need to buy. You need to have Solar Crest because you're playing against pretty much all physical damage. Then you also need Yule Scepter to kite Ursa after the BKB. Great against his Enrage. Enigma, to answer your question, I mean, you can still sell your items if this game goes late. You're starting to get rid of these drums, potentially get rid of the helm as well, then they can start to scale, maybe get the Aghanim Scepter, get to the Refresher. Because with Octarine Core, you have more than enough mana for double Black Hole. The question is, are you going to be able to get to that point? Oh, BetBoom. Can they find something here? Would definitely love to get any kind of a pick off. Ari does have buyback available, even if they kill him.
Oh, Ari. What a spot to sit in.
Doesn't move.
Not even a flinch. They just don't get anything from the side of BetBoom. They get the range racks, but that's it. That is, like you said, not the most important building on that high ground. Thing is, GPK will clean up the top wave and then come back to the team. Roche is closing in, 20 seconds for the maybe. See if they could use this Congregations of the Deep and get a good Croaker lockdown. They'll find themselves the Warlock. Kaori's the big one to get, but the Fatal Bonds gets thrown through. Kaori will eventually die. And he does not have buyback, dead for a full minute. That allows them to go for more, and Ari ends up dead, but he's got buyback. A bit of a minus shopping spree for the Ogre Magi. And they should be able to get the other side of this route.
Look at this attack speed. Him popping Laguna Blade onto a creep just to make sure that he has max stacks immediately. Going for the high ground. That's gonna be full set of barracks. They shouldn't stop. They should fish. Try to see if they do have buybacks available.
Now they're both available.
Roshan did respawn with amplified damage close to it.
Smoke Thunder comes in. They're going to try, but man, Black Hole comes in, immediately stopping Chaotic offering. The arrow's going to die. Pierre's already dead to Yuragi. The chase is on. GPK, BKB, he's stunned up. Triple kill. Katheomi's dead to Yuragi, trying to get even more. Yuragi right on top of him should be able to secure the Ultra if he gets credit for it, but it'll be Boom that gets the kill, and 4 heroes dead on the side of BetBoom.
Oh, again, I didn't think they were going to commit that heavily. They also need to have stuff ready. Maybe try to use Torrent immediately where Lina is standing. Try to surprise them, and Black Hole, it gets interrupted. And now with this amplified damage that wasn't even picked up, they're going to go inside Roche and take it immediately. Double buyback on the supports from Navi, making sure they're winning this fight.
Aegis picked up. Save on the run. He's got a whoopee cushion. He's got some movement.
Good body blocks.
Does he get away? Curse crowned. They're gonna give up the chase. Ari, not a lot of life left. He gives it up. Heroes starting to respawn on the side of BetBoom. They'll have Pure up again, but they are starting to work on this high ground. They'll go for the tier 3 tower top. Yuragi having a really clean game up to this point. 7-1-3. And Copy has been such a big help for Yuragi to kind of pop off. He has just been all the lockdown lane.
And now he does have level 20 talent, rolling Thunder Duration, lowering the cooldown with Octarine Core, and he also have Dezun as his neutral item, so that's going to be even a bigger AoE. What's the enchantment on it? Or of course it is Timeless debuff duration, so that's going to be even more stun.
Copy has really enabled so much this game. 6-3-11, but the Rolling Thunders have been on point. When Diffusal Blink Dagger and that early pickup of that combo really helped Navi sustain and take some of these fights. And it looked like BetBoom were in a really good spot. When Navi had lost that fight over near mid, things were starting to go their way, but Navi resilient and end up now in another 7K lead for themselves.
Back and forth game. We saw BetBoom not doing well, then them winning a fight, then throwing a couple of fights. Navi doing the same thing in the mid lane as well, losing a couple of heroes. Let's see how they're going to approach this one. Yesterday, they had a pretty big throw when they played against Team Spirit, allowing them to make a comeback against Mega Creeps.
Question is, do you get gun shy after something like that about going up on the high ground?
Oh, you're definitely having a talk. Like, for the next couple of months, when
Let's
somebody
lock it
says
down.
go all in, you're going all in.
Push the chips forward, go all in. Hopefully be successful, and they are going to have themselves a double banner. They've got Refresher Shard on the Ursa. She's ready on the Dark Willow. Things look pretty good for Na'Vi and what they've got ready in their arsenal. It's Ags for the Warlock going into the Refresher Orb, and he's already got 3,000 gold for it. There's the first banner down. And there goes the tower. Rolling Thunder, Terrorize, and the roll. Hitting on a Pure, the escape back, but holding the Terrorize and finally throwing it out there. But Pure can even get away. They've got the lockdown. The boat comes in.
Satanic,
Pure won't
it's not
survive.
enough.
Black Hole on the back line. They get the gun to Kaori, but is that enough? Buyback from Pure. Can the side of BetBoom fight back? They'll find their hands around the Undying's throat, but he is continuing to decay. Miero in trouble and focused by Yuragi. They'll take him out, and he's dead for 70 with no buyback. Pure hitting pretty quick, but he needs to up that damage to take out this Ursa for the first time, and they'll pop that Aegis. Curse Crown's gonna pop on GPK.
And they
There's
land
the
a stun on
Impalement
the
Arts as
respawn.
well as the Sphere on a copy. They land a stun coming through from Kateome, and they'll take out this Pangolier. But now Yuragi on the run, and BetBoom, it cost them a couple buybacks, but they have helped a little bit.
They did heavily focus onto that Lina, who is relatively survivable. Even with the Nullifier, I don't think they got him out of the box, so they need to commit pretty heavily. And then giving free reign to Kunkka. Kunkka that didn't disassemble Radiance with level 25 talent. It is a lot of right-click damage. Let's see how much damage he dealt in the previous fight. 7.5k damage on Kunkka.
The Black Hole onto the Warlock solo, I believe. Stopping Chaotic Offering from coming through, and
He's had enough.
Yeah,
he has enough
getting rid of
his shenanigans.
getting rid of the Chaotic Offering, getting rid of the Fatal Bonds, which is big impact too. Warlock going to the plus 40 upheaval damage instead of the Golem on death.
That's a bit of a surprising one. Like, considering what Miero just did, you would definitely love to have a Golem on death.
Yeah, that would...
Because if they catch you inside of the black hole with two other guys, you're probably going to be dying first, which means that you might be interrupting the black hole.
Yeah, it's a bit of a surprise. Especially if he's not able to stand still and kind of hold upheaval on the fight, right?
Yep.
Huh. Yuragi's got the Enrage. Does he even need it? He will. He'll pop it. He'll get that Tormentor and give a shard over to Boom. 30-second cooldown on Enrage. He's going for Refresher Orb as well. Refresher soon for the Warlock, but it's all Refreshers in the quick buy.
Hex, that's the big one on Ogre. He can control the fight from the distance as well. Does have Mystical Enchantment, extra 100 cast range, could be pretty big, and this hero doesn't die that easily. He has 4,000 HP, he does have OD Staff as his neutral item, Solar Crest, Eul Scepter. In a longer fight, if he gets multiple hexes off, this could be pretty massive.
Definitely a way to start a fight, too. Couple multicast on the Hex. That could definitely disrupt. Boom wants this overwhelming blink. 7, 8, and 14 for him. 4, 6, and 16 for Ari on the Dark Willow. Helped to get that initial kill on a Pure who bought back. Minute 35 till Roche is potentially back up, and they'll think about the Rolling Thunder. They'll actually jump through with it. Copy. Looking for something, but not really finding it.
It's on a relatively short cooldown.
Yeah,
With
38
level
seconds
25
from now.
talent and Octarine Core, you're going to have it again. Roshan may respawn in a minute plus.
Looking for these refreshers. They'll take their time. This next Roche fight's going to be very important. We're at that 45-minute mark, and Navi's had a lot of these style of games that have kind of gone back and forth in late. Their most recent one being, of course, with Team Spirit. Something that maybe they would like to forget.
They wouldn't have to play here today. They could have been chilling, prepping for the playoffs. Copy. Manages to blink out. Does still have roll up and rolling thunder if necessary. Damage from BetBoom is now going to be through the roof. You have Lina, who is level 26 as well, so that extra bit of a damage, extra crits on the target that are affected by the spells. And you also have Kunkka with level 25, as we said in the previous fight. Plus, he does have Silver Edge.
Let's see what the extra timer on this Roche ends up being. Hag's refresher for the Warlock. You gotta hope that you get to just drop the rock. He's also got the Dazun Blood, right?
Massive AoE. I mean, they do have combo. They do have rock and roll with Rolling Thunder and Golem.
Solid genre. And let me look at this analog clock. About a minute 20 till Roche. There's the refresher for Miero, but I'm a little worried about if he's even able to really get the black holes off. They've got answers on Navi. Smoke used by BetBoom. They're searching.
GPK is invis.
GPK yules into the brambles. They drop down the tombstone. They've got the nullifier, but the BKB's been popped by GPK. They go to the chaotic offering. They're going to throw down the ghost ship. That is a double golem, but the rolling thunder comes out. They find themselves Pierre. They're looking for the terrorize, but there is the wheel of wonder. Pure with the BKB throws out the Laguna Blade. They go to the nullifier. It's going to be under the lead up, but he'll be able to get up onto the high ground. There's the black hole. It's going to be out of the Ursa. Do they have the control? The chaotic offering comes out again. Ethereal, refresh, black hole, locking up Copy, as well as the golem. They've gotten the damage to get the kill on a Copy. He's going to be dead for 100 seconds. But that is a lot used by BetBoom. Both black holes coming through from Miero just to get the kill onto the Pangolier, who has buyback.
Heavily committing. Pure was in a good spot, relatively close to the edge of his high ground. Did have Hurricane Pike ready. They did commit onto him, but with one Pike, he gets inside of the base, and rest, they're not going to follow. Now with the double black hole, they're in a good spot to take these fights. Miero, this time, not opting to go for Warlock. Instead, he just needs to keep them in place long enough so that they can deal damage, either Kunkka or Lina, and then refreshes, gets the Pango, gets those golems in.
Ursa just refreshed.
They're trying to surprise them here. Ceaseless Dirge is ready.
He's gonna find Pure. He has no BKB. He's got a Satanic, but he doesn't survive. Oh, he's dead for 2 minutes. Big kill here for the side of Navi. They've got the tombstone down. The upheaval's going to be stopped, and now the run is on from Save as well as GBK. Palmenart's hits on a boom. Miero going forward. Miero,
he got nullified.
But what does he have? Buyback's going to be used by Copy, and now the TP out from this Enigma, but they get the bash. GPK in a lot of trouble. He'll be dead, but he's got buyback. The one who doesn't have it is Pure.
He was waiting for a really long time to use this buyback, and Kataomi is going to die as well. Does have buy available. Roshan is alive. He is going to the bottom pit. They should try to reset, get that Aegis on Ursa. A lot of these refresher plays, it's very difficult to keep track who used what in some of these longer fights, because BetBoom, they committed pretty heavily, and they thought it's going to be okay for them to maybe go and try to take Roshan on Dire's side. But Ursa uses refresher. Nuragi was so ready for that play.
Pure will have buyback now. But can the side of Navi force these buybacks from BetBoom and put themselves with a foothold in game number 1 that looks as though they can take it? As long as they have these buybacks on
Undying
BetBoom,
is gonna destroy the fight.
Yeah.
He is level 26, has that 50% Flash Golem strength bonus, has Octarine and Aghanim Scepter. So his decay is on 1.5 second cooldown, which does steal 8 strength. So in a longer fight, you're going to be missing a lot of HP. Plus, he has Ceaseless Dirge and Boots of Travel. So even if he dies, he's going to be coming into the fight. And I really love this Overwhelming Blink that he picked up. So he picks in, slows them down, cancels the Blink Dagger on Enigma. Kataomi bought back.
Nullifier on that
nullified.
escape act. Kathomi, he just bought back. He's got the gem. They'll at least get the mid-center racks, but they don't get the kill onto the Ogre. Glyph used, but they've got the banner. They should be able to at least secure this. But Pure is back up, and so is GPK. How long are you willing to stay? Yuragi now hit with the Malefice. Nullifier's going to be on to him. But now they'll look. They'll go to the Ghost Ship. They've got themselves the Ignite. The BKB is going to be popped by Yuragi. He's on the run, but he's got some help. The Refresher Shard for the Dark Willow. They've got everything up so far for NAVI. And these Refreshers are off cooldown for the Warlock as well as for this Pangolier.
They're going to wait for their BKBs to reset. Copy also was the one who picked up Aegis from the previous fight, knowing that he doesn't have buyback and Ursa. He was thinking about getting the Aghanim Scepter, which is always going to be a good item on Ursa, but seems like he wants to have an extra bit of move speed. Does use Refresher one more time. I do see Disperser. That's a very good way of dealing with some of these annoying spells.
Just using it off cooldown.
It worked the previous fight.
Yeah. Boom cleaning up these creeps.
Boom is not afraid to die.
No, not at all. Ceaseless Dirge means he's back into the fight. On top of which, he's got buyback, so he's really got 3 lives ready. Not sure how much you're willing to want to fight into an amplified damage on an Ursa. Positioning is key for this fight. 15,000 net worth lead for the side of NAVI. Similar situation, but not quite the mega creep situation that they had Spirit in yesterday.
Yeah, Lina's lacking some of the damage. She needs to have extra damage item. There is Maelstrom, which isn't upgraded. She does have very defensive build with Lincoln Sphere, BKB, and Satanic. Sure, some of these items still do good amount of damage, but this is not like Silver Edge Daedalus Lina. And speaking of Daedalus, he is about to buy one. Let's see what he decides to sell. It's just gonna be Maelstrom.
Sells the Maelstrom, now 200 gold short of that buyback, but he'll have that in just a second. Not forcing the issue yet with this Aegis. 2 minutes left for Pangolier to have this Aegis. And all the refreshers, except for the Ursas, were up. We'll see what they wait for, and
Even GPK.
we're closing in on potential 60 minutes again.
They do feel like they need more damage. GPK selling his boots, selling his blade mail, and now going for Daedalus of his own. Usually it wouldn't work out because you don't have enough move speed, but there are 2 Solar Crests, plus you have Bloodlust and you have extra movement speed when you are in Silver Edge, so that might be okay, but also if you are getting dispelled, you're not going to be moving quickly in those fights.
Wonder how Navi attack this. Gotta be careful because Miero, if he just pops these black holes onto Navi on the first part of this fight, they're just gonna buy back and then he won't have it available anyway.
Also looking at Yuragi's item build, he did sell Battle Fury, thinking that he doesn't need it. He wants to have Disperser.
Ay, ay, ay. See you later, Demon Edge. Not fun.
3.5 minutes.
Well, at least he's got time to save up some more money for
buyback, huh?
buyback, yeah.
I haven't seen people sell Battle Fury on Ursa, but in this game it looks really good. I think he has very good understanding of what needs to be done.
Ursa's in trouble.
Ceaseless Dirge is ready with the Tombstone.
Putting Yuragi into the Tombstone and making sure that he is safe. 15 seconds left on this Aegis. 4.5 minutes till we find ourselves at the tier 5s. Are Navi confident without the Aegis to go up out of the high ground? Copy thinking about going in post-Aegis with a Rolling Thunder, constantly feinting it. They're looking to jam out with some rock, with some roll. There they go. And Pure gonna be caught for the moment. Yuragi's gonna go in, but they've got themselves the Hex coming up from Kathomi. And now
they want
Jump is in. They want to get the kill here on a Pure. Pure turning this around. The Enrage was already used. He doesn't have an Aegis. If they can get the damage out, Miero's looking for the black hole, but it's only gonna land here onto the Undying. They've got the damage anyway to get the kill and a boom. So now, the upheaval, the 2 golems doing some decent damage, but they go to the escape act. Ari comes in with the Yules. That's going to be on a Pure. Pure, Abyssal up. Rolling Thunder coming in from Copy.
they kill him again?
They kill him here, and now they'll go to the
Boom.
black hole.
He's
on
dead.
The 2, but they'll look over, they get the kill to Boom. Now he's got buyback. It was the ceaseless dirge the first way back, but now he'll have buyback for another way back into the fight. There's the nullifier thrown onto Copy. They'll kill the Pangolier, they'll lose Miero, but this is an okay fight for the side of BetBoom. Bought back
Miero.
on Pure, but they are holding on.
They're recycling these buybacks nicely. They never have more than 2 buybacks on cooldown on side of BetBoom. And so, whew, man, him coming into the fight immediately on Undying, he still does have this 3rd life if he wants to buy back and come into the fight.
No Pangolier,
But he died immediately.
What is this timer on Roshan? It's quite a bit. DOTA plus probability shifting back towards 50-50. And we are looking like we might hit this 60-minute mark. Another long game for the side of NAVI.
It's not in Navi's favor, though.
No.
Seems like they've been crumbling in some of these games to close them out. Especially yesterday when they were playing against Team Spirit. 1 hit away from qualifying, and now they're here in another sticky situation.
A bulwark, an arena, and a dream is what kept Spirit in it. And now, I mean, you're not even in the position to have mega creeps. You've lost out bottom set of racks. Pure's going to move forward. They've got Boom back in 10 seconds, but Copy down for another 40. Roche is still not up. And by the time Copy is up, they should be finding themselves in a situation where they can fight 5v5. What can they get done here on the side of BetBoom? They need to be careful too. Pure does not have a buyback
For a long
in that
time.
last fight,
6
so
minutes.
he's gonna want that Aegis. They're gonna want to get him that second life.
Ogre hit level 25. 24 is what you are aiming for anyway, because of the learning curve. So extra Fire Blast damage. Is sitting on 4,000 gold as well. If he wants to maybe commit and get the Aghanim Scepter as well, with that level 25 talent, it is a lot of damage. For now, just keeping the buyback. And the might is that he did buy relatively early into the game. He's been using it for the good 40 minutes.
It was the right call. The right call that this game was going to go long, and we're looking at 60 minutes.
GPK sold 3 of his items. SNY, Boots, Blade Mail.
He's got Silver Edge, he's got Radiance. He picks up that Daedalus that he was waiting 3.5 minutes for. Yuragi, so much net worth. He's holding on to 9,500 gold, almost 10,000 gold.
His buyback is very expensive.
He's got 5,000 surplus, so he does have enough for an Aghanims, but he doesn't have a slot for it, so he really needs the Aghanims blessing to even want to buy out on that. Roshan still not up, and the scan actually connects in all of Na'Vi immediately. They connected, I believe, for a second on maybe Miero, but they immediately made this move over, and both teams are smoked up. Ari, not in a position just yet to break the smoke, but GPK's also got the Silver Edge. I believe his smoke was broken. Yuragi in the middle lane, blinks immediately, but they've got the Hex from Kateomi on the high ground. Out of HO's into the Wheel of Wonder, but the blink forward from Boom. He'll drop down the Tombstone, they go to the Laguna Blade, he'll pop the BKB, he's focusing his attention
Poppy
onto
is
Ringmaster,
controlling
but
them.
Poppy's on the back lines.
Forcing the BKBs.
Popped very early for the side of BetBoom, they get the kill and a save, he's got buyback, but he's got
They need to
back
run.
into the fight. Kateomi's also dead, Chaotic Offering goes down onto Miero. That's 2 golems, now a black hole. They'll try to refresh, they've got the golem once again, but the nullifier comes through, they've got themselves Ursa and a little bit of
And
control.
another one on
There's
Ursa.
another black hole, they've got the control, they get the gun, Yuragi's gonna buy back. Pure, right clicking away, looking over as Boom is in the face of GPK. Escape back does not save him. He's got buyback, Miero's dead, he'll have buyback as well.
12,000 HP on Undying.
Look over at Pure, they're right into the face of this Lina, and 2 minutes without the Lina for the side of BetBoom. They have to fight 4v5, Boom is finally low, but can they even kill this Undying? They lose save. Ringmaster no longer with this
He's
team.
still alive.
And the rest of the side of BetBoom will crumble by the wayside as Boom is still alive.
I believe
Everybody
they gave
here
him
for
cheese.
NAVI.
Look at, he had 80 plus stacks of decay stolen. He had 12,000 HP in the previous fight.
GG.
And they're gonna call it, knowing that
NAVI.
Pure has no buyback. This time around, Navi manages to close out the game. But very entertaining game. This team is very entertaining to watch. This game was really back and forth multiple times, not knowing who.
Thank you, Tsunami. As we get into game number 2, I felt as though we could credit Yuragi and Copy with the win for Navi in game number 1, but we'll see if they can hold on to that trend in this BO3. It's another one of those BetBoom lineups that feels like it executes really easily. Has a lot of lockdown, has some decent team fight. I mean, it makes Axe's life very difficult. Vortex, Roar, LSA with the cask and a net. Like, there is a lot here for BetBoom to really hold you down with. But
There it
Navi
is.
did a very good job in the previous game of mitigating
Roggy
that.
coming from a different side. Blood grenade.
Oh, save. Already dead for first blood. That is going to be a quick charge into that Grimoire.
Makes a lot of difference. Like we saw earlier, how big of an impact you can have. They got a kill on Pure in game number 1 because of that early golem that they did have available. And now Boom might get stunned here. Ooh, both of them actually.
But now a boundless strike. Anything else doing? Not really. Pure back on this Lina. He had 13 deaths in that last game. I don't know the last time
You guys
he ever
want to
had
see
13
me do it
deaths.
again?
Want to see me do it again?
Definitely, I don't think he's going to be dying as much this time around because his lane just went like very bad very quickly. This time he's playing with Nagasiren. We saw Nagasirens being able to stack multiple camps and also block enemy triangle if necessary. But Nagasiren can stack the most out of pretty much every single hero, having those extra illusions, push out the waves, constantly be very annoying. You can try to reset the fight. They don't have that big combo with Nagasiren though. There's nothing that they can combo it with. Maybe some LSA, Witch Doctor with the cask, but other than that, there isn't like, you know, some vacuum, some tombstone, black hole from Enigma. We saw Shadow Fiend being also a very good one. Teams got better at utilizing Shadow Fiend Requiem with the Nagasiren Sleep, considering that Shadow Fiend right now is relatively popular.
We've seen definitely some better games from Shadow Fiend overall. We'll see if the non-Shadow Fiend Naga combo presents itself. Ari back on the Dark Willow, and he had some good impact last game. Some really timely terrorizes, especially on Pure, that made their life very difficult, and we'll see if he can pull it off again. We've got Boom here on the Axe, and we have seen some great Axe starts, but how's this lane go up against Nagasiren Lina?
Axe not the greatest with using the Battle Hunger onto Nagasiren illusions because she has Mirror Image. Some of the Brambles are also going to be procced by those illusions, so they have some ups and downs, but also means that like throughout the whole game, it's going to be quite a lot of like Lina always needs to be careful. They have multiple heroes that can get the jump, especially Axe with the Blade Mail. There is no save other than having the Nagasiren ulti, so that's a bit of a bummer. And also in this lane, you're not going to be attacking Axe with the illusions to give him more procs on that counter Helix. And something Panel talked about is this mid matchup. It was very favorable for Monkey King prior to 38 patch because this is when we changed the lifesteal, so you're not lifestealing as much. I've seen this matchup nowadays go both ways, but I would give a slight advantage to Monkey King. And also the changes to his Jingu is also something that has been relatively nerfed because in 739, duration has been increased, especially on level 1 by 1.5 seconds, on level 2 by 1 second as well. And they're doing a pretty good job in this top lane, pushing out the wave, making sure that Lina is not getting jumped, making sure that Lina is getting the free farm.
We'll see what Axe ends up getting, if there's any kills in this top lane. Potentially, I would say, for BetBoom. But bottom lane is a lane we haven't talked about just yet. And it's this time, it's Miero on the Beastmaster, which we have seen him have some stellar performances with this hero. But then it's the Witch Doctor, not something we're seeing all too much of.
It's also not that great of a Witch Doctor game Maybe they want to use this as a counter to TA to one extent, removing the refractions. Nero blocking the entrance with the boar. And on the other side, it was Ari who got the Lotus. So 1 for 1.
At least holding on to it currently.
Pure, he's in trouble in the top lane. Might actually die.
Yeah, they hit the call. They've got the damage, and they will get that kill. Pure continuing where he left off.
I like this build on Axe. I think it was XXS who did it one game with no points in counter Helix, knowing that they're not going to be attacking you, and putting a second point in Battle Hunger, reducing the cooldown by 5 seconds. Oh, look at this damage.
Shadow Word and the boars gets the refraction back off. Shadow Word takes that away. Kaori now on the run. A couple of boars hitting him. But Miero under the tower. He'll take a tower shot and be down pretty low himself. So the Shadow Word on Yuragi, that's healing him up. That kept him all nice and comfy. Meanwhile, you had the boars hitting away and a couple of right clicks and some axes, but it wasn't enough to get the kill on Yuragi. Kaori probably dies here, but can Yuragi trade for Miero? And that's really not possible.
It's a lot of these summons that are very annoying for Templar Assassin, Hawk, multiple boars, playing against Maledict early on. Miero had a pretty good game in the previous one, at least in the timings that he was having on this Helm of the Dominator / Overlord. It looks weird when you see Axe with no point in counter Helix but having Berserker's Call. It's more about the control, because this is relatively short cooldown, 17 seconds, and duration is 1.8. Keep them in place after they walk into the Bramble Maze. It's a pretty good setup.
Definitely can be, and Boom closing in on the level 4, but loses that courier, and that's not great, but some gold for Katomi. Save TPing back to the lane, passes over a salve that Miero had purchased, and he'll heal back up to full. Trying to take care of these boars, and at least for right now, Yuragi, he's doing all right in terms of CS, but let's see how the game progresses for him. Definitely a carry who likes to take his time. He's a little less active than I would say some of the other carries are in this tournament, but he gets his farm, and you kind of, I would say so far this tournament, have a lot of faith in what he's going to bring to the table when he finally starts to get involved.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he played Ursa, Shadowfiend, Tiny, Abaddon. And these are a bit of a slower heroes. Tiny, he needs a little bit more time. Shadowfiend depends how active you're going to be, which partner you're going to be having in the lane. But Abaddon, he wants his Radiance. Ursa wants his Battle Fury +1 extra item to start getting involved. GPK also tipping Ari there, seeing that he is helping him out in the mid lane, and there is quite a lot of denies in that mid lane on Copy. 13, 41 CS on top of him, and let's see if they're gonna start to find something. Maybe they can find Katomi here, who doesn't have Boots of Speed ready.
Very aware of this, seeing a tree just kind of coming through the mid lane.
What could it be?
Oh, I wonder who it is. Yeah, not sure. I'm pretty sure, though, it is a Monkey King. I could be wrong. It could be a Clefairy. Katomi, Fatal Bonds, and the Upheaval. That means Katomi is going to die, so Copy's going to get a kill there.
Another charge on Black Grimoire. 640.
You're also in trouble.
Enemy XP rune.
Needs to back off
level 2 Battle Hunger. Not enough to kill him there. But also forcing a rotation from Save. They are getting in. XP rune is about to spawn. Copy and Kaori are in. Nero in a lot of trouble.
Body box a second. TP attempt out, and that will leave him. But Boom gets one shrine, Kaori gets the other, and Copy's gonna TP to top. He wants to make a move here. Again, acting as a tree. We'll see if anybody falls for this. But Pure,
he's level 6.
He is in trouble. Ballast Strike connects, and they will get another kill on a Pure, continuing where they left off.
Kaori is like, you know what? There is no hero in the bottom lane. I will ulti this tower and push it. I saw him do this before. I think he's one of the few players that are actually willing to do this. Opens up the map. Wukong's command, reel in. Where's the damage? GPK needs to be the one dealing the damage, but the change of the guard, this is a very good facet.
They
want Pure again.
Yeah, they do. Why leave him to continue what he's doing? They know that they can maybe tilt him out a little bit. Certainly helped to kill him quite often early in the last game.
He's taking the bait.
Under the tower, creeps are there. Copy jumps into the trees, the Primal Spring. They're looking for Pure, but he's gone the opposite direction. And Pure doing a good job of avoiding that gank.
Hunger. Didn't connect. Their glyph was ready in 3 seconds. Maybe they could have waited so that he can't kill the creep, but also maybe respecting some of the TPs that could come and turn this fight around. Did not want to push too much.
Booms.
What is this in the mid lane?
Now
What
level
is this
6.
that I'm seeing? It is Zai J. It's been a while since I saw this emoji.
It's a good spray. One of the best. They've got Laguna Blade now, and they'll net the ball lightning,
Fatal
but the
Bond's on the
Boundless
floor.
Strike, and now the Culling Blade, just to make sure that they had a response. The Fatal Bonds onto a couple of these heroes, as well as the Terrorized. Copy's got to jump in even further. The Blood Grenade to make his life tough to jump.
Even
But
Yuragi's here.
Yuragi, he shows up, and they just don't get this kill again on Pure. Ooh, good dodge by Kataomi. Tipped by Boom.
Still very good move, and we're seeing Zai J off screen. Very important for this stage of the game. Yuragi.
Zai
King.
J.
Yeah, he did come through the gate and
Zoom in
pushing
further.
the tower, and now it's gone.
Damn. Tier 1 tower. That's gone. Easy take. Save level 4, but the supports of Navi both
Level 6.
past level 6.
Level 7 on Kaori even. Rock is gonna be ready again in 5 seconds. If they decide to commit to this bottom tower, if he TPs it, he doesn't have TP unfortunately on Kaori.
Primal Roar, but the
They don't
Wukong's
even need
Boundless
it.
Strike, the arrow, he is looking pretty dead, and so is Save. Also pick up 100 gold from
Ragi,
that dominated
correction.
creep.
He's fine.
Oh? Yep. A-okay.
Kaori is a Giga Chad, farming in the mid lane. He's the one controlling the roots. He dropped another golem.
Team fight, never heard of it. Brambles connect on a Pure. Oh boy. Pure can't catch a break this entire series.
3 deaths, less than what he did have in the previous game. But man, Kaori, he's let's see, Warlock, 100% burn rate. He's doing something really good.
It's not for the team fight, it's for the
It's
push.
for himself. I mean, he was super farmed in the previous game.
Super farm now. He's catching up to Pure. He's not super close, but look at that building damage. 1999. About to hit that Y2K number and start to really shake it up. Gotta hope things don't come crashing down for BetBoom when he gets that number, and we'll see what Navi can get. Waiting for the next chaotic offering to be available. I want to see if he does it again.
I think the next one needs to be for the team fight. They already
You say
killed.
that.
They killed all tier 1 towers. There's no way that he's gonna drop it on tier 2.
You know what? I'm gonna go with my faith in dropping another rock on a tier 2. I have faith in this way of play. Miero, upheavaled, cask bouncing, and Copy needs to be careful.
Copy's dead. He has Urn, Maledict.
Shadow
One
Word, Shadow
more,
Word, Shadow Word,
maybe?
Shadow Word, Shadow Word. No! He's
Ooh,
fine.
he got that Boundless. Boundless on the creep. Did lifesteal a little bit. It was not enough. That second tick of Maledict, I thought it was going to kill him considering that he did have Urn available.
Blade Mail for Axe now. All 3 cores on the side of Navi are top of the net worth.
Navi's moves across the map have been very crisp. Moving with the 2 supports. Copy again, having a blast of a game on top of the network, going for the Fusel Blade. That's going to be like a relatively cheap item that is very good against Lina, very good against Storm Spirit, and also Beastmaster. He doesn't build into boots, so if he gets slowed down by 1 slow into Bramble Maze, he's definitely dead.
Yeah, it ain't great to not have boots. But trying to keep up. He's keeping up off lane to off lane, but Copy is where the big difference is, and so is the TA to the Lina. Yuragi to Pure is definitely favoring Yuragi, who is looking for that Desolator, and Boom now going into the Blink Dagger. We've talked about this. You have a lot more time to really get that Blink Dagger. You have time to maybe even go Vanguard as well as Blade Mail if you really want to, but Blade Mail into the Blink, they'll look to get that. Yuragi now gets a kill.
Kataomi has been sitting here, cutting the whole creep wave. They do have tier 1 towers available on all 3 sides. And now Miero in the top lane. Boom. If he gets some kind of a help, they could definitely grab a kill. They do have Golem available if he wants to participate in the game rather than playing tower. What's there's a tower defense. I don't know what he's playing, what type of a game. Copy's in.
Copy's in on Pure, Laguna Blade, but Pure now on the run. Kataomi is here, but changing of the guard, juking around, still in the circle is Kataomi. Now there's a chaotic offering. It's not the best chaotic offering, and, well, maybe Kaori should stick to throwing it on towers. Because that one left a lot to be desired.
I mean, this one is a bit too much, too greedy from Copy. Thinking that he can get a solo kill on Lina, or maybe thinking that Warlock is going to be closer to the fight to be able to drop the rock while he's inside of Wukong's. This gives them good chunk of gold, good chunk of XP as well.
Cuts it down to 2,000 net worth here for Navi, but Yuragi's still free farming.
Really? You just did.
You know who's free farming? Kaori. He's the one who's taking the CS with his Golem.
Hey, that's how it's done. That's what I'm saying. Just drop it on the tower, push the lanes out. Be efficient, and he's got a lot of gold. 3,500 net worth for both the Dark Willow and the Warlock. Glimmer Cape for Kaori after the arcane boots early on. Yuragi's about to finish up that Desolator. Dark Willow has almost a Yules, and Ari's going to get a kill on a Kataomi with the Bedlam. Has some help from Copy, and Ari's on a killing spree. He played so well game number 1 on the Dark Willow.
Yeah, did say wants to make something happen. Just smoked himself. If they can find Kaori in the mid lane, GPK does have half of the mana pool. Still respecting diving underneath the tower. All the towers are available.
Just watching Kaori continuing to just free farm
LD
away.
Summons. Ari on the other side, level
Has
9.
Blink Dagger on Boom, and I don't think they've revealed this yet. But save and GPK, blink in, Boom caught. Blade Mail, but looking for the call. There is the ulti, but the Terrorize. Boom's going to try and TP back home. And
Raindrop
will kill him.
Ooh, nice try, nice try. He did buy Raindrop, but did not get it.
Have the roar on to
Get it in.
Kaori, and that's another kill for BetBoom. Things kind of falling away a little bit for Navi, but they do finally kill off save. They've got the Wukongs, and after losing 2 heroes, they turn this back around. Copy's going to get a kill here on Miero. And
Navi's
Yuragi now
very
has
good.
Nesso flying out.
Very good team at bringing numbers, understanding how many heroes they need to have to be able to get the kill. Unfortunately for them, Axe, this was supposed to be the big blink reveal where they get the kill. And now immediately, Yuragi's is down in the bottom lane. We saw Pure doing the same thing in game number 1, where he's pushing for that extra wave, and then he gets punished. Kaori, Golem is ready.
Oh. After using it on the last team fight, I'm wondering where this will be used. Maybe on this mid exchange, because Copy, blink call, and now they've got the chaotic offering onto 3. That's a good rock, and well, right into the face of GPK. He'll smell what that rock's cooking. And they will look to get the supports as the Golem continues to push the mid lane. But they've got Ari here, and both Save and Kataomi will be able to retreat, but again, this creep wave being pushed in, and it's got a lot of duration on it. You can push this wave out and pressure the towers after getting a fight.
He waited. He wanted to use Fatal Bonds, then drop the rock, which kind of kills the monkey. Also, this Diffusal Blade is very good, but I think in a lot of these engagements, he would definitely live if he had some Mage Slayer available.
Save,
Good
two-shot.
Who was wrong? Usually you are bad at math, but I think that was 3 shots.
Was that 3
I
shots?
think it was 3 shots.
I thought it was 2 shots. If we get a replay, I got to figure out if my counting from 1 to 3 is still okay at a kindergarten level.
Dire's middle tower is under
Or just somebody tell me I'm
You're
wrong.
getting better, Benjamin. You definitely are. Especially at these, like, numbers, 1-digit numbers.
I would like to hope so. You know, as much as I meme, my math was pretty decent back in the old schooling days. 1, 2.
That half HP, though.
When you stare acting like I don't know how to count.
Somebody hit him before. That's why I counted 3. It was the golem. But you're also correct.
Thank God.
Move. Onto the top lane, Yuragi immediately peeping in. Look at this.
Oh.
Splash damage on Miero as well.
Wanted to get that creep. It's worth quite a bit from the Helm of the Overlord. So far, Yuragi, he's been free farming. You can call him Tom Petty because he's free farming.
Sounds
Lot
like
of
a
gold.
very American guy, Tom Petty.
And the Heartbreakers? Yeah. Solid band.
Another Laguna Blade used to continue farming. Give him those charges immediately.
Ari immediately into the Shadow Realm, and they won't continue the attack. Blink call, that lands. But the song,
Rocket
Uh-oh.
10. Lemmer's ready for Axe if he's in trouble. Does have a raindrop as well.
They're going to jump in. They'll find Kathomi. They wanted to get that Death Ward going,
It's
but
Roshan time. They
they
just
use the song.
with Deso, you have more than enough damage, but they also are thinking maybe to punish Miero, who does have boots of speed, and yeah, screw Roshan.
Check
drop
it off.
that rock.
You've used it for pushing. You've used it for Roshan. You've used it for team fight. This rock does everything. Can I sell you on a pet rock? Because let me tell you, it's been good advertising so far from Kaori. The pet rock, the best pet.
I don't buy these things. I usually buy bat water, but this is my kind of a thing. They gotta ask him. If they win this series, I hope it's gonna be Kaori who's need to answer some of the questions about what he is doing with the Golem. Because other Warlock players are definitely not doing this.
And he's winning. It's time to study the film.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
We still do film, right?
Yeah.
Almost 12,000 net worth here for Yuragi. Right on from Roche. They go for the 20-minute Tormentor. Objective to objective to objective. And it'll be Kaori who gets that shard. And he's got the level 4 in the upheaval, so things get good for him. Primal Roar was used, and changing in the guard copy, trying to get away, but the Boundless Strike goes on to the Miero. Beastmaster with a blink call follows it up. Culling Blade a little bit early, but Yuragi gets the kill. Copy needs to run from this dragon. He'll have the Shadow Word, so now he can fight back, and that will be 250 gold for this Monkey King.
Oh, BetBoom, we haven't seen them make an aggressive play. GPK has been completely shut down. Kaya now going into a BKB. Feels like he definitely needs it, but there's still a good amount of spells that go through debuff immunity. Axe Call, Warlock Golem, which they never have anyway, so basically one spell.
PKB already for Monkey King.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Navi trying to break the streak of just having 3-game series.
Tower is under attack.
They don't want to let this go longer than it needs to, and they look in a really good spot currently. Courier trying desperately to get to this TA, has been looking to drop off this shard for the longest time. Finally gets that upgrade on the Psionic Trap. Hurricane Pike next, 6 charges on that Desolator. Hoping on 3 kills for those 6 charges. I've done the math.
Not too many stacks of Coat of Blood, only 2 from Axe. He didn't even dunk anybody yet.
No, he's used the
Effectively.
dunks a little bit early. But 20-7, that's really all you can ask for here for Navi. So you don't have some armor, but you do have yourself, oh, good call. Boom is in an awkward spot, but I don't think he cares. Primal Roar comes in, they go to the ball lightning, they've got themselves the Maledict and the kill on a Boom. I said they don't care about the positioning for him, but he was in an odd spot, and they get the kill on a Boom. The Chaotic Offering comes in for Kaori. They've already got this Aegis, and Save's gonna be killed. Yaragi's got that, but he'll end up dying to GPK with the Laguna Blade coming out from Pure. Song on a 2, Copy in the area. He does have BKB if he wants to go in, maybe on a Pure.
He needs
Copy
the
pops the BKB, he'll go and throw that Boundless Strike out, and he just TP's out. Thought about maybe going to the Wukongs, but that will leave Kaori to die, as well as Ari. And BetBoom, they take a fight right on back from what was a little bit sloppy from NAVI as they tried to pick off the Beastmaster.
I don't think this is even on BetBoom playing the fight well. It's about NAVI just handling it to them. Again, another call, and he tried to dunk him. He has like 600-700 HP. Took the talent. Calling Blade buff duration. Never got a dunk so far in a 23-minute game.
It's a bit tough.
Even the Croakers helped them there.
Yeah. That was such an early
that was like
Blade.
1200 HP on Beastmaster.
I understand using Chaotic Offering early to push towers, but Calling Blade early to try and get a kill feels like the wrong game plan.
And like, all these things on the ground, summons from Beastmaster, Naga Siren Illusions. Never underestimate the power of throw. Let's see if they can maybe do it one more time. So far, the game has been looking pretty clean on Navi, except for this play, which did allow BetBoom to get another round of items.
Yeah, it was the 3 cores of NAVI at the top of the net worth for the longest time, and now it's TA and then 3 for BetBoom. They've found their way back in, and NAVI have kind of served it to them. Copy thinking about going for Pure, but just throws that Boundless Strike out onto the creep wave.
Also, this is the downside of the build on Monkey. If you're using mana to farm, which you definitely do need to use to push out the waves quickly, without Mage Slayer, you don't have enough mana. Like, he's constantly on low mana. There's only one mana boots on Kaori, who's playing his own type of a game where he's pushing the towers with the Golem, so he's never with the team.
1,000 net worth lead, all even, but they are smoked, they are looking, they want to get this lead back. See if the side of Navi can find anybody. But for now, BetBoom doing a good job of staying off the map. This Naga Siren has been bottom for a lot of the game, just pushing out the bottom lane.
It's insane what the hero can do.
Constantly these creeps
Let's go.
Oh, saves the 250 gold for Yuragi. Carry earning.
Not sure if he misclicked there or what happened, but these dunks, they actually never happen in a 25-minute game.
That's shocking.
Yeah, he's using drunk instead of dunk. Beastmaster was over 1,000 HP. Even with level 20 talent, Kaya, Sanj,
Wink Roar.
like, you still don't have enough to dunk people with that high HP.
In the Shadow Realm, looking for the Terrorize. That connects onto the Naga Siren. Now they might go in. They've got the stun. It's on a GPK. The right click's coming through from Yuragi, but the BKB popped by GPK, and he's able to ball lightning out. Copy looking for an opening, but again, you said it. He doesn't have a lot of mana to play with. He's working with a Clarity. He's sticking in the trees, but he's looking for somebody to go on. Boom is already into the fight. The BKB's been popped early. They go to the Boundless Strike, and now they got the Wukong's Commando. Go to the Death Lord, but the damage on the Copy, he needs to be careful. They'll go for Miero. They have the Melt Strike, but not the damage. Song connects on a Copy as well as this Templar Assassin. They'll throw down the rock. But Pure right into the face of Kaori. The big call. Boom. He had the connection, and they'll get the kill to the Lina. Yuragi still alive. They've got the Glimmer Kick. Kaori keeping him alive in this fight, and they take out Kataomi. GPK tries to leave, and now Miero needs to run, but the Mailed Strike comes through. The Battle Hunger is there, and the damage from Yuragi to get another 2 charges on that Desolator.
A little bit of back and forth. One team, like Navi, this was supposed to be a clean game considering the start that they did have through the game a little bit with that play in the top lane. But now you see the power of their lineup when they are grouped around, when they're fighting inside of Wukong's command, when Axe gets the call onto Lina. Even through the BKB, she's still gonna die even though you're not getting the blade mail damage. If you pair Axe up with another core with either T8 or Monkey King and they focus her down, she's gonna die because there are no saves. There's nothing other than the song that can save him out of the trouble.
Golem pushing the mid tier 2. Walked all the way from bottom to help push out a little bit. Copy finally finding the initiation that he wanted because he's got the shard, and that helped him jump into the fight that time.
That's a very good setup for your ulti. You can get out of the trouble, but it also allows you to jump in, knowing that there is one BKB piercing ability, that's Primal Aurora, and if that's used, you're fighting inside of the Wukong's command, follow it up by a rock. That's the perfect execution. Maybe call somebody with axe. It's a relatively easy, I would say, to execute, especially with this gold lead that they do have. But again, showing that they can throw the game by a little bit. This is going to be the big item as well on Monkey King, because he was lacking some of the mana. Once he gets the Scotty, 35 stats, that's pretty big. And also great against Lina. It slows you down so much.
Pushing forward, Miero still here with that Helm of the Overlord creep going towards top to meet up with Witch Doctor and GPK. Smoke from Na'Vi looking to extend this lead. Daedalus next for Uragi, hoping to not lose the Courier this time around with the Demon Edge on it, as has been seen by other players in this matchup so far. Greedy mana draft for Keta only. So keeping with the greedy, keeping with the extra GPM bonus.
Where's the draft? Where's the F coming from instead of drought?
I don't know. I got yelled at last event.
Yelled at?
Yeah, you know. All caps means yelling. I was told it's draft. I was told...
As a native English speaker, what do you say about this one?
I think
True or
somebody's got to
false?
work on their spelling. Be honest. If I have to work on my math, somebody's got to work on their spelling. I don't really know about that draft, but the draft of Na'Vi working out pretty well so far. 5-man smoke. Who can they find with it?
Draft is the only thing that can kill you in Eastern Europe. Grandmas, they're always making sure that there is no draft in the house. Excellent call.
Miero hit with the Terrorize. They've got the continue to control, but they go to the Song with the BKB running out on Boom. He needs to back up. They've got the silence with the shard from the Templar Assassin. They're focusing their attention on a Boom, but they might need to go for somebody else. Boundless Strike comes in. The Wukong's command is there. Pure,
back.
he's out pretty far. They drop down the rock. They'll look for Pure. They'll get the kill. The Prime Aurora a little bit late for Miero to save this Lina, so he needs to run, but GPK is in to get Kaori. The Golem needs to find a target to hit, but the Ball of Lightning with the TP out, the BKB, GPK is free to go. Finally, at 30 minutes into the game, Boom gets a Culling Blade kill, and it's on to save.
Secures Roshan for his team. A bit of a disjointed fight again. I thought they were going to be setting up LSA onto 2 targets. Instead, they opted to go, because Dave slept him. Ari, he got a good one. He picked off a Beastmaster with that Yule Scepter and the Blink Dagger, and GPK is going to die to Boom. It's the other way around. Never mind.
Boom dies to GPK.
And Storm is now level 20, about to crack level 21.
A lot of magical damage on that axe.
Just what I was waiting for.
Lincoln's for Uragi next. He's got that Daedalus. The damage coming in from Uragi is going to be pretty heavy-handed. Got to be very careful. But they are TPing in, and it's going to be Pure who starts with the LSA, goes to the Laguna Blade. Spirit Vessel, Death Ward, but the 4-staff back. Uragi doesn't have a lot of mana, but does have
needs to
this
heal and
Aegis. Maledict will start to wear down Uragi, but not really do enough. Knife Scotty, Diffusal, BKB for copy. Here's his team looking to fight. He says, copy that. I'll jump in. Boundless Strike with the Shard gives him the easy positioning, which we saw in the last fight, to jump onto Pure. Their focus has been on the Lina, and they've done a good job of shutting down this Lina again, as they have put Pure in a spot where he's got 5 deaths, not as many as the 13 previously.
Yeah, but there's a massive difference between him and
Slowing him
Uragi
down.
in this game. There's a casual 7,000 net worth advantage for Uragi, who only did die 1 time. This Scotty is also going to be very difficult for Lina to maneuver in the middle of the fights. GPK is the one who's carrying the fights pretty heavily. Going in, understanding how much mana he can use without getting into a trouble.
Oi! God.
Guard.
Oh.
The trap.
Ari's in. Ari is so aggressive with this Dark Willow. Voodoo Switcheroo says no Curse Crown for you. But Yuragi gets the kill and a save anyway and adds 2 more charges to the Desolator stack. 14 now for him. So they've been sitting at this 6,000 net worth lead mark for a little while. Pure and Miero looking to take the Twin Gate down towards bottom.
Kaori has way too much farm. 10,000 on Warlock. 32 minutes in. Also pushing out the wave. Yeah, using Fatal Bonds. Does have Shard available. Does have Greedy as his enchantment. Cutting the creep wave. This is not where you would expect Warlock to be playing the game at this stage.
Across the river?
Yeah. Being alone from the team. This hero is not really maneuverable. Doesn't have too many escapey things. Does have Solar. Does have Glimmer. But still, if you get the initiation when he's alone, he's gonna die.
Ari level 19. He's had such a good game on this Dark Willow. Chaotic Offering committed to stop the TP from Miero. Gale Guard won't do enough, and the Blink Call, Yuragi with another one as they find the Beastmaster dead for 70 seconds. Yuragi now dominating.
Ari's ganking the Beastmaster creeps, getting good chunk of gold. That's extra 250. Copy. Behind enemy lines. Thinking about maybe initiating onto GPK.
Needs help if he's going to be doing that, but sees a shield rune. Ari's going to take that instead. Yeah. To be fair to Ari, he's been the one
he's the frontliner, exactly.
Frontline. He's been one of the frontliners, honestly. Boom, Copy, and Ari can kind of just jump in there. I don't have Chaotic Offering for another 2 minutes, but Kaori definitely very helpful with what he's got in the item inventory. The Solar Crest, the Glimmer Cape, it's done a lot. And the Golem pushing again. Finally dies, though, and they've got this banner, so they're going to work on this bottom tier 3.
Nagasaran is mid and top, so she can't really cut the creep wave. They can't kill this creep wave and maybe try to go for the banner. Yuragi holding the Aegis for exactly 1 minute. Copy is in a good spot.
Smoke's going to be broken. Oh,
they cut them down.
Axe is in, Ball Lightning, LSA, that lands on a Copy. He is going to be dead so quickly. And they got Boom too. Save was able to get that kill, and they just disrupt this fight so fast. They'll look for the song. It actually hits on Yuragi as well as Ari. Can they find the Templar Assassin? They're weaving through the trees, but the blink away from Yuragi. Kaori's nearby, but he does not have a Chaotic Offering. They look over at Save. Save goes into the Voodoo Switcheroo. Bedlam, the Boundless Strike. Copy ball back, and they get the kill. They'll also take 250 on that Helm of the Overlord creep. So they'll get at least the Witch Doctor, but they lost 2 and got the buyback forced.
That's a big buyback. I mean, this is such a nice play from Miero. Cutting him down immediately with the Wild Axes. No Golem available. Let's see if they decide to commit for this one. Aegis is about to expire. Lincoln Sphere is ready now on Templar Assassin. Golem, 20 seconds. Copy. We'll find a different entrance to the fight. Needs to be more careful.
And needs to watch out as these trees are going to be cut down. Miero now very aware of this. Take out the illusions, go for the creeps. The LSA connects, but he's got no Lincolns at the moment, but Pure, he doesn't have a life. He's dead. 85 has buyback, and Roar got committed. That's at least that set down. Do they look for more? Do they want to just finish right here? Navi, they have had moments of mistakes going up on the high ground throughout their tournament life, but they are just one game away from going to the playoffs. Got to see how they take this one. I mean, definitely that Spirit series sitting in the back of their head.
And this is what we talked about. If Pure gets initiated on, he's gonna die unless they have a song, but they have a good amount of BKBs, and now Golem is ready. Yuragi sitting in the soup.
That's good soup. And then just drops the rock to push tier 4s. Check it on the board. Golem for the push. He doesn't care about your team fight.
Hex, this is the big item. GPK, if he can get it, he is also fighting inside of his base. Never underestimate Storm Spirit, what he can do. Buybacks available on Pure if he wants to use it.
Call me arrow.
Use it here.
Jump in by Boom. Yuragi gets the kill, takes out the Beastmaster. Buyback force. Pure still holding on to his. Hex, Death Ward, but change that guard and change that tune because NAVI, they are in your base. They are in far. Primal Roar comes through into the Monkey King.
Copy's
But
isolated.
Can they get Copy? Boundless Strike, Spirit Vessel. He bought back and he's going to be dead for 2 minutes now as GPK is now put on the mega kill streak.
Oh, maybe Copy could have gotten away closer to the team with the shard if he had Boundless Strike with the shard to get out of the trouble. So he's going to be dead for quite some time, forcing the buyback out of Miero. Force the buyback, but Pure, he did not use his. Still yet to see some big damage item. Pretty similar itemization.
Ooh.
Oh, again.
Ooh.
That's big. This is pretty massive.
Yikes.
Refresher killed on the courier. Would definitely love to have that second song set up.
Ags is going to be here for Kaori. Can call him Trebuchet because he's throwing down multiple rocks. He's got a lot of farm. He has almost got as much farm as Miero, who has been slowed down like crazy. Boom, with a good blink call. That locked down the Beastmaster. That got them that initial kill, forced him to buy back. They're still without Copy for 40 seconds, and maybe BetBoom feel themselves in a spot where they could take advantage of that. They're down 11,000 net worth. The Golem not available for another 40 seconds, so there is opportunity while the team fight is lacking for Na'Vi.
20 seconds until Copy's out. Holding the hands, going together. No rock, as you said, for 30 seconds. Obs, they did plan it, and I believe they saw GPK farming that camp.
Yule's blink call, GPK. He is silenced now with that psionic trap and ball lightning in. He is looking for the axe, but that is pretty far forward, and it's kind of baited his team a little bit up too. They won't get punished for that, but that could have been dangerous. Now they might. Kataomi is going to be caught by the call, and he is going to be culling bladed, chopped in half, and dead for 50.
Let's see how Navi approaches this one. He does have buyback available, but he also did lose his courier, which is going to align with him getting out. So can buy that refresher with the Zune. It is a lot of AoE on that song. Could try to reset 2 times, but if they pop the BKBs, they have nothing to stop them from going in, especially if they catch Lina. Even with Satanic, she's still gonna die if they use Blink Call from Axe and pair it up with either Wukong's command or Yuragi jumping in and trying to deal the damage. Yuragi has been looking pretty impressive.
Yuragi is so farmed. 10,000 ahead of Pure. Down goes the backdoor protection. With it should be the tier 2.
A lot of attack speed as well. Solar Crest sitting in the soup from Warlock with that talent on level 15.
Has the extra upheaval damage. Again, not going to the summons a golem on death. 2's enough. Doesn't need anything more than that. Would assume the next item in his eyes is a refresher, but has nothing queued for the moment. Swift Blink's going to be finished for Yuragi, and Roche is going to be up in a couple of seconds. They smoke, but nobody here for the side of BetBoom. And Boom picks up a timeless DAZN Bloodright. DAZN?
DAZN.
DAZN. UN. Okay. Roche off screen, and it is back. Ball lining in, they go to the Hex, it's going to be on a Boom. The look is they should have the Primal Roar if need be, but the team fight's going to be stopped because the rock is dropped. Says it doesn't
Yarrow's
matter
gone
about
for
your team
100
fight.
seconds.
The look over at Pure, the song was already used, but what else do you have? Kataomi
Get refreshed and blinked out.
And he's got another
Nice
song. If they want to try and reset the fight one more time, Pure's in a decent spot. Yuragi goes and cliffs himself with a blink forward.
Hurricane Pike's ready.
Save, Maledict, Death Ward, but the Golems will soak most of that. The blink the call, and that will be a kill onto save. So they've got no Miero, they've got no Witch Doctor, but Witch Doctor does have buyback.
They wanted to take over the outpost so they can TP to the fight. It is closer to them. Still having tier 2 tower available at the bottom does allow Boom to use his buyback coming to the fight. And this is going to be another free Roshan for them.
Oh, copy. GPK gets the shrine. Pushes him a couple creeps away from level 25. Aegis for Yuragi. Cheese for the axe. Refresher shard now. Instead of having to have the need to buy it for the Warlock. So he could just refresh if he wants, but he passed it over to Ahri. There's 80 seconds left on Golem. If they want to fight now, they might want to give the Golem over, but multiple terrorizes is not a
He's
bad
using it for push
idea
only.
either. Ballast Strike, Ethereal Blink Call comes through. Battle Hunger Ball Lightning from GPK. Voodoo Switcheroo, but that is only extending the inevitable death of Safe. Nobody to save him. Pure. Will not kill this trap yet, but then the Blink the Call. Pure's in trouble. There's another song, but the BKB, Yuragi godlike. Pure's going to be forced to buy back. Miero blinks, it goes to the Primal Roar.
Where's the
Ball coming
follow-up?
up from GPK. Can they get the save here on the Templar Assassin who has a second life? They already got the kill and a boom. Axe is dead. Wukong's is
Another
down.
Terrorize.
On a lot of these heroes. Terrorize comes in, but the BKB is perfectly timed from Pure, who will take the Aegis out of the hands of the Templar Assassin. Boundless Strike from Copy, jumping in with a shard. They've got the silence on a Pure. Can they get the kill onto the Lina? They have focused Kaori. They're trying to take him out, but he's got the Glimmer Cape. Kaori still alive, but finally Copy falls. Miero dies to Yuragi. Save going in, even as the dust with the Shadow Realm, the TP out from both the supports.
No cast.
They'll get the kill to Kaori, but they will not take out Ahri. And the buybacks were used by BetBoom to keep him in the game, but they are losing numbers and losing availability into the next fight.
Not having those 2 buybacks is going to cost them a lot. Also, Pure doesn't have his buyback available. That's the big one. Beastmaster, his is coming off cooldown, but he also doesn't have enough money for it, at least not right now. Axe needs to be slightly more careful how he approaches the fight. I don't believe he managed to use the cheese. I see that he's going for A on this, which I think is the correct choice, but also committing heavily on Witch Doctor and not getting the kill here with the BKB, with Lotus, gets the switcheroo, and then after that he is gonna die. Yuragi's still popping off in some of these fights. His positioning has been really good, and I think they could have gave this Warlock a refresher, as you said. Instead, they gave it to Ahri. This second Terrorize is not going to give them much. It did connect onto Pure, who did use the BKB, and they were also stuck in the Bramble, so it didn't really push them away from the fight.
And you can see how quickly Boom dies
There's
there.
the second Terrorize. Storm did dodge it. Sure, it did connect on the second support on the Witch Doctor, but it didn't really do much. I would prefer if this is Warlock with Fatal Bonds, with the next round, with another rock to be dropped to try to counter-initiate, and still, they still managed to get out with 2 different heroes. Axe did die, so did Monkey, killing 1 extra support, but most importantly, Yuragi doesn't die. He has the big streak right now, would definitely give them 2k plus gold if they manage to kill him.
Every NAVI game hits this point where you wonder if they can finish the game, because their high ground sieges, I don't think we've seen a clean one yet.
Yeah, they definitely have not been clean. Yuragi, 16, 1, and 10 on Templar Assassin, level 28.
Pure doing a lot of damage with this Daedalus. Refresher Orb being built for Miero, but he'll need some time on that. Copy's also going for a Daedalus, but he has felt very deep in some of these fights that have been a bit of a problem for him. And
He's
now with
1
the level
creep
25,
away from level 25. This is where the problem starts. If they want to siege with Templar Assassin, with Upheaval and Wukong's command, maybe the item for him would be Refresher, just so that you have double BKB, double Wukong's, especially with that level 25. But if he feels he needs a little bit of extra damage, Daedalus is a way to go.
Radiant's bottom tower.
they'll look through top again. No Aegis this time. Still cheese on Boom. Chaotic Offering is ready for Kaori, and he has finished off that Refresher Orb. He won't have buyback, but if he could drop the rock twice.
Use 1 on the tower, just for the lulz.
Hey, maybe.
They have Glyph available on BetBoom. Might need to use it soon.
The extra Wukong circle. Command ring. Ags for this Witch Doctor in a good, tight fight. We have seen Witch Doctor survive with the Voodoo switcheroo as well as getting a Death Ward off. That could be
That's
a
the
big
item.
problem.
Exactly. This is the item that is going to win you the game, especially with level 20 talent, extra 75 attack range. Does have Blink Dagger, so he can position himself. There needs to be a second rock hitting Witch Doctor.
39 to 22. Navi still with a lead. They've been holding it for a while, but BetBoom are no slouch when it comes to holding the high ground and turning these games around. Ari level 23. He is getting closer to that level 25.
He also has the Zune, of course. Extra cast range enchantment with upheaval radius on level 10 makes it pretty much the whole screen.
Yeah, Warlock almost at 25. The 20 Chaotic Offering Golem armor or the 80% magic resistance for Chaotic Offering Golems, they will be a plenty because he can drop 4. Putting in a whole allotment of golems, a whole bunch of rocks. This could be a big fight for Kaori.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Another Wukong's is ready, knowing that they don't have the glyph available. BKB ready on Monkey Cop. He's going to do the same thing.
There's one Chaotic Offering for the buildings. Putting the people's elbow into the top set of racks, but the blink call sees them wrapping around. The look over as the song is committed. But they have got themselves mega creeps. And how do they continue on to this fight? They'll find the call. It's on Miero. GPK with the BKB. They've got themselves the electric vortex. There's another Chaotic Offering.
Either get
They'll
the
hit him with the
BKB
rock,
off.
but they've not hit the bottom. They get the kill on Yuragi. Pure, picking up so much gold. Kaori's dead. 2 heroes gone. He doesn't have buyback. He bought out on the refresher orb, and now they've got the net. The double song is working out. Kateomi putting on a whole concert in the middle of the fight. They get copy, 3 heroes dead, Ball Lightning looking, searching, trying to find Ari, but Navi, again, another high ground siege, and it's just never clean.
Oh man, what is going on with this team? I mean, we gotta give credit to Kateomi. These songs have looked amazing. Refresher as basically your second item after picking up Blink Dagger and Glimmer, and then going for the Refresher to be able to set things up for his own team. And let's see if they're gonna be able to get some buybacks out of this. You are playing against Mega Creeps, but Lina also got insane amount of gold. I see a Refresher on Lina, but I think this needs to be damage item.
Mega Creeps again for Navi. They are, at least recently, 0-1 with Mega Creeps. Can they force the buybacks? They shouldn't need to use them, but BetBoom might try.
There's a lot of right-click damage. You have Beastmaster with AC.
Oh,
APK,
boy, Boom.
he's in.
These buildings are dropping quickly. That's one tier 4. Bramble Maze, they'll work on the racks. Miero,
Tier 4s are
working on the
dying.
tier 4. Pure, they'll force the glyph. But now you don't have one as long as they don't take that melee racks. Miero, he's ready to go. The blink, the call, the buyback for copy. The look to get the kill on a Pure, but can they get the damage out there? They've got the fear of the terrorize, and Pure is low but survives.
didn't dunk him.
Satanic! Oh boy, no, it's all falling apart for Navi.
They don't have the glyph. They're
BetBoom,
focusing
they
the
do
throne.
not have a glyph. They're trying to get the throne, but the throne's exposed on the other side. They just need to hold on. They've got the call, but no! BetBoom steal the game away from Navi.
Oh,
Mega creeps
Navi.
are not enough.
What have you done?
No.
Have you learned nothing from yesterday?
No, I mean, Navi didn't want to break the trend. They have gone 2-1 every single series they have played up to this point. They just enjoy playing Dota. But they have given every team a second chance, and now BetBoom, the question is, do they let the ball drop, or do they get the victory and move on to playoffs themselves?
Navi is definitely back to throwing games that they won, and this time we'll see how it's gonna go. BetBoom, I'm not sure if this is gonna affect the way Navi plays, because after what happened yesterday, after what happened just now, they're still showing that they snowball pretty heavily out of the lanes, and then in the mid game they started to make some more mistakes. But the laning stage looked pretty crisp. And speaking of laning stage, they should definitely have a good time in this off lane. Boom on Axe didn't look too comfortable, didn't end the game with too many dunks. There were a couple of these lulling blades that he did do, which didn't result in getting them the kills, but it is a strong lane. We've seen this before. I believe it was one of the Chinese teams that with the pick-me-up facet allowed them to go for this type of a play. And right now, Save is in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, he's going to try and run, but the Shadow Realm has run out, and that will be first blood for Yuragi, who had an amazing game last game. But in the final moments when it mattered, the team kind of fell apart. Yuragi ended the game 16-2.
And had a massive gold lead, like 40 minutes into the game. I believe they had like 25K at one point. So definitely not a game that should have gone BetBoom's way, but they also had some really nice plays that did come out of Save, that did come out of Karaomi with that refresher. We'll see how the top lane's gonna go. This should be a lane where Ogre, especially with Learning Curve Facet, can't really do much, at least at level 1, but they can start to play a bit more aggressive. Level 3 is gonna be the big power spike in this lane for Navi, where you have Counter Helix, you have Berserker's Call as well. Even level 2 is gonna be relatively strong. And this is the lane where they're supposed to be getting the kills.
See how Boom does this time around on the Axe. Pure back on the Lina. So really enjoying the Lina gameplay. Even though the KDA hasn't exactly been very great for Pure. Although last game, to end that game, he was definitely a lot of what they needed to win that one. And on top of the fact that in that last fight, Save also had that Ags on the Witch Doctor, even though he ended at 7, 13, and 17. He had big impact at the end there too.
Immediately, as soon as they get that level 2, he's not level 2 on Axe. He needs one extra creep, and there's the call again. I like this a lot.
And Pure, he is going to die here. Another kill for the side of Navi, and this is just, it's a little bit dangerous under the tower like that, but very worth it.
Definitely worth it. Marisi, he's gonna be having a good time in this lane. Just an easy setup every single time. Kataomi is now level 2, so that means that he has 2 points in Ignite, 1 point in Stun. Ari just needs to get close to the Axe, and I talked about the timing in this lane when Axe has counter Helix as well. They just got a kill, so that also means that they will be getting level 3 before the enemies.
Could be a reason to make a move, get that jump. Battle Hunger constantly putting put onto Kataomi. Pure needs to be careful. Every single one of his laning phases has ended with him dying a couple of times. And he doesn't want to continue to repeat the trend. It's 3 minutes in where the Lotuses will become available. 5 seconds till they're in their pools, but there's the jump. They've got the dispose. They'll go into the call, and this is Kenthomi being dead. Another kill in this top lane for the side of Navi. Ari being involved in all 3 kills. Yuragi on the run, this time up against the Dark Willow, which was being played by Ari in the first 2 games, and showing how strong the hero really is. It was a little bit of anti-synergy at the end there with the Terrorize as well as the call, but this hero does so much in this game, and they will get this kill into Yuragi. As Kaori, he dropped down that tombstone, but it looks as though that's going to be at least the tombstone there for the Dark Willow. They'll look at GPK. Doesn't really have a spot to jump to, and Ari's got yet another for the side of Navi.
He didn't have the simulate. I think they had a pretty good understanding that this matchup, he's not going to get it, at least not until later levels. So making a rotation, lane was in a relatively good spot in the top lane, but they also got a good kill in the bottom. They killed Tiny, they killed the Tombstone, extra bit of a gold coming their way. Kaori doesn't have Tombstone available for the next fight. Miro with the double shield trash and healing Lotus, they can definitely play aggressive.
Double Decay, Avalanche on cooldown for 7 seconds. How long do you want to go after Yuragi once he gets that back? Miro does have the Lotus. Save, though. Into the Shadow Realm. Does he want to put damage onto Yuragi, or does he want to go and get that range creep? Another shield crash, and save is fine.
Yuragi gave him the
in
Lotus.
pretty far. And Yuragi will survive, but save now not with a lot of heal left on him, and is going to have the south for Miero.
I want to see slightly more action in this top lane. Boom, using the healing cell, does have an extra tango to work with. But so far, BetBoom are doing a good job keeping the lane close to their tower. And
They're jumping in.
There it is.
The call, the bloodlust, and now the LSA, they've got the dispose, but it threw it away from Boom. Still, they've got the battle hunger, and Boom's going to be able to run away. Saves dead to Yuragi over in the bottom lane off screen. And that is, again, another kill in these side lanes. Miero's going to have to get this shield crash off and run, but the tombstone now slows him up. And that means Miero's dead on his
decay.
screen. They'll have decay, but they'll throw the tree instead and get the kill there.
They wanted to secure a kill for Yuragi, can't really blame them. They could also make a rotation to the mid lane. Puck is about to crack level 6, and seeing that he got that kill earlier onto GPK. But they are also making a move. Save does have obs, does have sentry.
This is so far so good for Navi. They haven't really pulled away in net worth, though, despite all these kills. And there's the rebound into the dispose. They've got the call. The LSA, it only lands on Ari. The battle hunger pure again, taking all this damage. But can they kill this Lina? It puts him in a bad spot, but Ari now getting chased by Ketomi. Doesn't matter. He'll survive, and so will Pure. Oh, Lotus for who? For Miero. Swashbuckle and a tree tossed over. Miero is fine. 6-minute power rune haste got bottled up by GPK, so maybe he makes a rotation having his ult.
And speaking of rotation, Copy, he wants to use the coil. Kill Miero immediately.
Jumps in, Dream Coil, but here comes GPK. This is a dangerous move. GPK's got this haste rune, and they just don't have the damage to get the kill on Miero just yet. And he's under the tower and safe, but the jaunt into the backlines behind the tier 1. Copy is caught. Copy, he's going to phase shift, but not going to be able to get away from GPK, who followed and mirrored that rotation.
Oh, level 1 Tombstone as well. Only 5 attacks to destroy. They immediately focus it. It dies so quickly, so no zombies, no chase, and Copy with his TP rotation that was supposed to be an easy kill. GPK mirroring the movement and getting that kill. I just want to see slightly more aggression in this top lane. They do have the kill threat. Ogre is a bit of an annoying one now that he's level 5, does have multicast available.
They've constantly gone for Pure, and they have killed this Lina twice. It was almost a third time, but we'll see. Pure, level 5, no Laguna just yet. But maybe this Ogre is enough of a deterrent with the learning curve. And GPK is going to hit 7. He recovered after getting killed off early. And that first Dream Coil didn't really do anything for the side of Navi, trying to make a rotation and play aggressive.
No hells, no heaven.
Pure will reconnect back into the game, and we should be underway.
That wasn't
Here we go.
right.
How can Pure stay alive with the rotation from Yuragi?
Yuragi's here.
Call and the kill on a Pure. Double-Elimination here. They've also got the Bramble Maze, but there's so much in the way of BetBoom on this top lane that they will get themselves, or should have themselves, a second. Gets under the tower, though. Yuragi eats those shots. It looked like Ketomi was dead to rights, but they just didn't quite have the damage. Save also wants to go forward. They're looking over for
Have this
Ari.
observer ward so they see him. Ooh, didn't pick him up. He forgot. Boom pinged it out.
Well, Boom ends up dead. Tombstone, again, the focus on Miero. Using this Tombstone off cooldown pretty heavily. Yuragi can't exactly go too far forward on this. Doesn't have a lot of health. But Kaori, the Tombstone, the decays, I guess they make Miero uncomfortable, sure. Top lane again. Unleash Use call is there. There's another kill. Ketomi dead, and on the run is this Dark Will. Save trying to get out. Boom. The chase on for save for a moment, but they'll give up on that. A lot of vision in this top area of the map for BetBoom.
double observer ward, one blocking and seeing where Axe is going to be farming. Maybe even Puck. Ari having a really good game so far. Involved in 6 kills out of 9. Very nice.
TP back for the Ogre. Level 6 now for Pure, so they have that burst damage. And Sentry should spot the obs.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Kataomi and Pure should be relatively safe up here. But it depends if maybe GPK makes that rotation. He is smoked. He's actually going towards bottom.
Dire are scanning.
And they should be able to find Yuragi. They got the obs, and now he's on the run. They're actually going through the Twin Gate. That's going to mean all 5 heroes are here, and this should be a very dead time.
This should also be good damage onto the tower, especially if they commit with all 5 heroes that they just brought. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, they are trying to make something else happen.
Go for the tier 1 mid. Navi, we praised the first 2 games about their movements around the map. Right now, BetBoom are the ones who have really moved well, too. Just a little bit better than what Navi are doing.
Oh, he got coiled.
Coiled on the shield crash. They get the kill on a Miero. They'll look for GPK. They've got the silence, and they'll get 2. Kaori with the double kill.
BetBoom thinking that they have enough to kill the bottom tower and still maybe defend the tier 1 tower in the mid lane, but it was not enough. A nice spell usage there from Navi. Not overextending, not overlapping anything. Making sure that they're grabbing multiple kills plus the tower.
Last game, Kaori not afraid to drop the rock. Now continuing to show off the masonry skills by continuing to put down the tombstone. And he is just really happy to fight with it and put the pressure on with anything he's got. Except this cooldown's not nearly as long as throwing down the golem with the chaotic offering.
No, but also showing that he's not. I'm waiting for him to use tombstone, stack the triangle, and then farm some creeps with it.
I'll be down for that. He also picks up the Brawny Sister Shroud. They pick them up. They're rolling Thunder from the arrow. They start to split.
Ari just killed him.
Boom is in under the tower, and he's been sacrificed, I guess, to the gods.
It's for the next fight.
Ari dunked him under the tower.
When he needed to save him near the Lotus fight a couple of minutes ago, didn't, and now he puts him in.
GPK
Okay,
again.
let's see this time. Ari with the ulti.
They'll have the dispose, but that stacks with the silence. Do they have the damage in time? Ooh, the resonant pulse and the double astral step. They stack the silences there just a little bit too much with the dispose. If they were a little less stacked, they probably get that kill.
They were close. His treads was also on Agi there, so did have extra bit of a damage. Maybe they needed to kill him. One extra hit. Could have done the trick. Most importantly, he does survive. In the bottom lane, Save is trying to get to his level 6, and he does. Definitely a hero that does rely on levels.
Walk up onto the high ground. Kathomi, pick me up. And a nice dispose to get Kaori on the killing spree. Playing well is this Undying. The support duo I really like from Navi. They're really not afraid. Now, has it cost the life of Boom a couple times? Yes. But I definitely respect the aggression coming in from Navi's supports.
I don't think Boom likes that aggressiveness. He definitely didn't have to die in those 2 situations. But at least they have Marcy. So even if you don't have your Blink Dagger that early on, he does have Blade Mail available now, you can still make the plays. Rebound is maxed out. Cast range 750. And this should be the tower for them.
Again, Yuragi top of the net worth.
Every single game.
Yeah, he's been farming really well. Under the tower. Kaori, this is a killing spree that he's probably going to give up, but he soul rips. He's alive for now in that flesh golem, but it's Save who steals the kill.
Let's see how much time
He's up
it's
again.
going to take him to realize these are professional
Immediately
athletes.
top.
Immediately DPs to the top lane.
I'll admit, my last Undying game, I might have been sitting in the fountain for about 30 seconds before I realized I was back
It
alive.
happens to everybody.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Dream Coil. Copy hoping to get a good fight with that Dream Coil, but they do nothing. And now again, Ari dropping Boom off at school, aka under the tier 1 tower. And everybody's here for BetBoom again. And Boom's just dead. Is there a grudge?
I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. He was like, the rest of the team, they were trying to backstab with a 3-man smoke. He was farming a small camp here and didn't connect with them. I think either he needs to be with them immediately or they need to play a little bit safer because that Bramble Maze kind of shut them down. This was the point of entry where they needed to go in, and Copy did not want to heavily commit after using... Maybe it's also Boom who like doesn't want to play near Ari. Maybe he doesn't want to get thrown in. This is the 3rd time now. 4 deaths on him.
Just might need to disable ally help.
At this point.
Dire's top tower
I've had enough. Stop picking me up. Boom's gonna get a Blink Dagger. He'll do it on his own.
Playing away from the team. Does not want to be
Specifically away from Ari.
He's playing with Tiny in the team. Tiny Airlines and Pick Me Up as well. Gotta be careful. One good thing that they do have with Puck is ability to break coil with toss. So throughout the whole game, even at the later stages of the game, let's say Puck gets to level 25, Dream Coil goes through debuff immunity, you snap the coil. Marcy also has her way of dealing with it. We also didn't talk too much about Pango. Mira's having a relatively good game. Offlane Pango, you do play him with the double jump, so the Rolling Thunder is not going to be as effective. It's lower move speed, but still having a good amount of farm. Diffusal Blade, Bracer, Magic Wand, 15 minutes in, boom.
Ari.
And Ari, throw him in.
And now again near Boom. And throws him in. Dunks him with the pick-me-up, but this time they get a kill. Katomi is dead, and they will survive for now on Boom, but they're trying to take out Save. The Bedwam's not enough, but the Laguna Blade is. They got 2 kills. They've got the Dispose. The Illusory Orb finishes off Pure. This time for Navi, it works. See, if you just try again, at least you'll get the results at least once.
Ari's very aggressive. Like, it's a good trade. They sacrifice Boom again. I don't know how happy Boom is for whatever's happening in this game, but Ari's having a blast. 3-0 and 9. Didn't die a single time, involved in 12 out of 15 kills. And wants to go for the scaling items. I see a Blink Dagger. He did have that yesterday as well, opted to go for BKB instead. It's very difficult to farm with this hero. Like, you have good people, like good heroes that you can throw in. Even Undying, you can throw in Axe, you can throw in Tiny.
Axe, he'll throw himself in with the Blink Dagger soon. He's had enough of Ari. Although, you could potentially buy something else. You don't need the Blink Dagger, you got Ari. Spend that money elsewhere.
Nah, you you need to have it.
Yeah. I'm just joshing. They do have another 4K lead. Navi have been really good in the early game. I will
Pure
not take
again
anything away
going
from
for
that.
this extra wave. They don't have any vision, but they might scout him here. Copy. Is he gonna live? Seems like he's juking. It's a 4-man rotation, and they did not see him.
Kaori is nearby. He might get a glimpse of him, but he keeps going up and down the steps. So Pure kind of knows where at least Kaori is, so he's able to wrap all the way out.
I can't believe he dodged this. They
doesn't
went
even
through
get
the twin
ganked.
gates. Now they're making a move. Trying to make something happen in this mid lane. There is no tower available, at least for BetBoom. Boom is in a good spot.
Blink call. GPK is caught, but the Terrorize comes in. That's a Fear onto 2. They'll drop down the Dream Coil. They've got the Decay, but the Rolling Thunder comes out from Yarrow. Silence the jump. Copy. No Illusory Orb. He'll get out.
Good
The
heal.
Tombstone's been taken. Avalanche kills off Save. They've got at least one, but now they're going to go for the rest. Decay Blink call misses on GPK. He'll assimilate and go to the other side of the fight. But now the Astral Step all the way in. Takes out Boom, but now Pure, he's very vulnerable. Avalanche comes in. They've got the toss out of the arrow. They should be able to get another one. That's 3 heroes dead.
Kateome on the run. This Ogre, he's trying to find an escape, but Ari doesn't have Boom, so he'll pick up Yuragi and dunk him right onto this Ogre.
Oh man, Boom, he can't catch a break, but he is sacrificing.
Ari even tips Boom.
Boom's having a good laugh. They try to save him. They used 2 Soul Rips, which is maxed out, which I sorry, really like that Kaori is maxing it and now has Holy Locket. So that's going to be extra bit of a healing for every single fight. And I believe that they need to keep an eye on Boom. They need to get this guy out of the fight at least once so he can get a second call.
He's not allowed to call more than once. His minutes are used. But Boom, he is looking for a BKB. He wants any little bit of survivability as he can get, because he's just getting thrown into the middle of these fights. I mean, he's got to be the tanky guy. He's got to be the initiator. He's got the Blink Dagger now. But Boom's just looking to survive. He's died 6 times already. He's more than half the deaths. And I would only say one of them was caused by himself.
I'd say 1, yeah.
The rest, Ari had a hand in.
At least Ari's not dying. He's having a really good game. That's how you do it. Can they catch Copy here? Ooh, Void Spirit ready to jump in. Aghanim Scepter.
Oh, what an Aether Remnant.
Somebody tipped GPK for this play. It was a really nice placed remnant.
Yeah. Knew exactly where the curveball was going and hit a home run. Boom again. Smoked, searching, but they don't have Puck. This is a bit of a dangerous fight to take without Coil. That's what gives them a little bit of the lockdown and keeps GPK in place especially.
Ari's saying go. I can read lips. I saw Ari say, go, I'll save you, don't worry. He lied.
Save? Dissimulate was used. This is definitely a big spell to jump on immediately if he didn't have that way out. But again, they just don't have Dream Coil. Hard to hold these heroes down. Yeah, you've got Avalanche, you've got Blink Call, but Dream Coil is just such a big part of it. I respect that they're not fighting and they're going to bring Puck up here. They want to go now. Blink Call connects on Boom. There's the jump into the rebound and the stun. Ari, he has to get away from this BetBoom side. Rolling Thunder comes in. They've got the Tombstone down.
Rocky with the Shadow Blade.
Continue to roll and realizes,
Could
yes,
get a big initiation here.
Oh, Koya on the TPing out Pure. Everybody's gone. That means Pure's by himself. Oh, the
Rainbow
timing.
TPs. And they are going to get Tormentor for themselves.
It's Tormy time.
It is. Let's see who's going to get it. I would give it to Ari, considering everything that he did do throughout this game. And yeah, he's going to get rewarded for it.
Do you have a button over there? Did you get to choose?
No, it's just because he griefed a little bit. That's why.
So you know that the shard goes to the griefer?
It does, yeah.
I got to start working on that.
I like how Boom immediately started to run away from the fight. Used Call with the Blade Mail and immediately start moving to the south.
Well, that's because Ari jumped
his real
in.
friend, towards Kaori, who will save him with Holy Locket.
Somebody heal me. Kaori is going into the Guardian Greaves, so he wants the double heal with the Holy Locket as well as the Greaves. Boom. Far away from the BKB.
I wonder why.
Well, see, now there's this facet.
He's getting pranked, man. He's answering all. He's a boomer. He's answering all these calls from these scamming companies.
And we'd like to call you about your car's extended warranty. Mind giving us your social?
Maybe they see his name and they're like, huh, you know what? He might be a part of the team. Part of the enemy team with the Boom. And they're like, you're getting the treatment you deserve.
6v4 situation for Navi. You think the Boom deaths gave Ari assists?
Yeah, because they were getting the kills out of it. It's a 10k gold lead for Navi. The big difference is, again, Yuragi versus Pure. Yuragi having a blast of a game, level 16 against level 14 on Lina. Just finished off his VKB.
Hurricane Pike for Pure, but he's been caught out. He's got 6 deaths again. He's loved this Lina all 3 games, but all 3 games have been high death count games.
It's not exactly what I would call soothing. Oh, boom. Jumped again, but they've got themselves the call, maybe? Oh, Soul
Good
Rip,
Soul
and
Rip.
now they've got a Culling Blade. Boom. Takes out GPK. Miero's Rolling Thunder is going to be done, but they'll pop the Unleash, and they'll chase Miero. They'll dispose, they'll whack him down, they'll grab the call, and they just need another Culling Blade as 3 heroes are dead on the side of BetBoom.
He has one real friend in this game, and that is his friend Undying. Keeping him safe, Mech, Holy Locket, gets the Soul Rip. It is an insane amount of healing that he does. It does amplify the heals by 15% with the Holy Locket.
Very good item build for Kaori on this one.
It's like 500 heal, amplified by 15% as well. If they're max amount of units, and nowadays it's not too many. Like, all you need is 10 units around, so in a full team fight, you're gonna get the max heal.
14,000 net worth lead. Can never be too high for Navi, though.
Still throwable, yeah.
I wasn't trying to say it like that, but, you know.
I mean, they they did it a couple of times. I don't think that I think this one, considering what they are playing against with Ogre, who has Hand of Midas, Dark Willow as well, these are not like that high of an impact heroes like Naga Siren with Refresher in the previous game.
So you're trying to say, let me realize if I'm hearing you loud and clear here, the game is unthrowable.
Yeah, not every game is throwable
Oh,
if you
okay.
try hard enough, but I think this is the least throwable game from Navi that we've seen.
Just wait till they get Mega Creeps. Then I'll ask you again. Illusory Orb and Copy getting a kill on a Miero. Octarine Corp, very quick for Copy.
He was toying with the idea of getting BKB, playing into this double silence, good amount of stuns, good amount of control, but after seeing what Undying got with Holy Locket, the heal, Mech, he thinks that he can get away and not get bursted during the double silence. It also gives him good amount of tankiness.
Katomi. We saw Ogre and Midas work.
Ragi's chasing Pure in the bottom lane, getting initiated on.
Hurricane Pike, the TP attempt,
Wait, is he not?
and he's gone.
I thought he was gonna go for the blind stun.
Yeah, so did I. Yule's up into the air on a save, the blink, the call, the Culling Blade, and they do not get the second on the Ogre, but they do take the life of save. Just extending that lead, have this Aegis, playing aggressive. I like it from Navi, but the real test is at those steps on the Dire side. That's where it all begins. Copy moving forward, Katomi. Spotted by this puck. Dream Coil committed, but now looking for the LSA or the stun. Blink call connects. Katomi's dead. GPK, he jumps in. This is a problem for GPK. Illusory Orb, Astral Step, the Tombstone committed.
First so tank
But
with
they
Undying behind him.
jump away.
20 Holy Locket charges, Guardian Greaves, Soul Rip. I don't think they have enough damage to kill the heroes. You can see that Boom feels much more comfortable coming into these fights with the BKB available. For this one, it wasn't, but also seeing that how good he's been taken care of in the last couple of fights definitely does help.
Onto the mid tower, but also maybe looking to cut across. They could potentially find Pure.
Pure playing Lina 3 games in a row and having a pretty miserable game all 3 games. Even though they did win the second game, he still had a pretty rough time.
Yeah, not the most fun. But still working with a decent net worth. He knows where to find gold when it's in the most difficult of places to grab it from. Pure hitting off into the trees, and it looks like both shrines are going to go the way of Navi again. They're pretty split up, and they could just go and grab this tower. Shrine picked up by Copy, Shrine picked up by Ari. And with so much of a lead right now, Navi fans don't have to be huffing on too much copium for a win in the moment, but they should be confident in at least so far what they've seen from Navi in game number 3. But BetBoom, definitely one of those teams that can bring it back.
This is a very interesting ward that they placed in the mid lane behind enemy tower, which gives them really good vision. It gives them potentially a jump, not necessarily for this game, but this is a very sneaky ward that they placed. Also something to point out, this Undying's heal has been amplified by level 15 talent, so that's 600 if it's max units, 15 extra % from the Holy Locket, that's 690, almost 700 heal on a very short cooldown, on 6-second cooldown.
14 seconds left on the Aegis. Not going to finish the game with this one. But looking for the blink call, TP out by Pure. And the net worth lead just continues to extend for Navi. We saw this on the Ogre last time they went Midas. They went into the AVULUS afterwards. Ags being built by Pangolier, but very far from that. BKB for GPK. We'll see if it's Crystallis or Boots of Travel for Pure.
Yeah, even in the second game, he was going for more of a damage-oriented build and not opting to go for Boots of Travel. While you sit in the base, Boots of Travel not a very good item. Ahri still yet to die in this game.
Go, Yuragi. Getting a quick kill on a save.
Oh, the Croakers.
Croakers. Little grief in Croakers trying to really hurt Kataomi, but they've got the blink, they land the call, they've got the tombstone. There's the Laguna Blade Pure. Where are you gonna run to? They get the kill on the Lina. And GPK with the double astral, but the damage, oh, the tree just not in time. Dispose enemy arrow. Ahri stops that TP away, and boom, now finally tipping Ahri.
Ahri having a blast of a game, and seems like BetBoom, they are cooked in this one. Yuragi finding the right opportunity. 2-man avalanche. This is what Navi needed. They needed this extra bit of luck in game 2. Maybe in game against Team Spirit yesterday. Croakers on their side. They'll take any kind of help they can get.
Yule's on a boom. But this is where the real challenge starts. Everything up to this point has been good from Navi, but now it's the high ground siege. The thorn for Navi. They jump forward, they kill off save. He's got buyback. They'll have everybody up in 5 if they want to buy back on this Dark Willow.
This Undying so tanky. Even without any strength stolen, still sitting at 2.5k HP. Guardian Greaves, Holy Locket, Gale Guard. They should be able to close this one out relatively soon. Roshan is dead. It may respawn in 45 seconds. If they want to wait it out, but I feel like they have the good opportunity to just close out the game. But I also wouldn't blame them if they wait for next Roche to respawn, make sure that everything is going their way.
Play it safe. Why would they ever have the game plan to do that?
For the fans.
For the fans.
Yeah, for BetBoom fans.
Oh, no. Save with the tip on a GPK. Right back at you. Not sure what that's about. But they have found Pure. He needs to try and get away, but Boom is here with the call, and he is dead, no buyback. He gets caught being greedy and out far again, with Navi continuing to surge forward.
He's just not having a game. He's not having a serious.
The waves will push forward, and Roche now could potentially spawn, but they may not even need that next Aegis. Looking for the high 5, Navi trying to secure that slot into the playoffs. I'm going to say this, you might want to skip the last set of racks. The record with Mega Creeps isn't exactly amazing.
Good call on the 2 of them.
Really well done by Boom. They will clean up GPK and Kataomi. 3 heroes that just do not have buyback. They'll call GG. Navi have finally done it. They will secure that slot into the playoffs. Took them 2 tries, but they got it done. And Navi with a very, very done.